Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Mutilus or Brandon on Discord.
You said it.
Shut the fuck up.
That is what must be.
Stop laughing at me.
You need to change it. You need to change it. This is
that's fair. Wait. Did you change yours back?
No, I have not.
Okay, good. I'll change
it's
mine.
official.
All right, fine. I am now Brandon on Discord.
My name is Parker. I go by Tardiness Executioner. Is that what it is? Yeah, did I get it right? Yeah, Tardiness Executioner on Discord.
This is Jeremy. I go by just Jeremy on Discord.
And this is Aaron. I go by Treffenwood.
And welcome to our special Festivus episode of Infamous, the podcast. It's fine, don't worry about it.
You sure about that? Are you sure where you're at?
Dude, I did 170 straight episodes without fucking up my name.
Congratulations.
We're doing pretty good so far. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We have a fun episode ahead of us. Quick announcements. Parker, I get to look you in the eye this time.
Mm-hmm.
2,695 episodes remaining.
Man.
We're basically already there. I mean, you're really in the home stretch when you think about it. Parker has one pending bet that I'm aware of, and it's that the shocker will not be able to shock people. And I don't know why he made that bet. You guys can judge him on your own at home.
Every time it crosses my mind, I stand up straighter with more pride. I'm so excited.
You're 10 toes down, and somehow you're more toes down every time.
Every time.
Okay.
I was in the shop the other day, and somebody I can't remember who it was, like, man, I really want some Spider Foes to come out. I really want Shocker. I go, I want Shocker. But for one very special reason. They go, why? I go, because he won't shock, and then I will have vindication.
What are you going to do if she shocks? What are you going to do?
If he shocks? Well, I'll lose bet. That's what happens.
No, but like, I need to know. Like you might just go straight Britney Spears shave your head, not like I force you to shave your head. Like you'd be just like the world is upside down. Like shocker.
I guess I have to play. I guess I have to play Judgment. I guess is what
that's
happens.
probably true. He has to quit and play Judgment. All right.
That's it. That's the end.
All right. Here
this
we go.
This game has fallen so far off canon. I cannot play it anymore.
Yeah. So other announcements. Parker's at my house. This was against my will, but his house is burned to the ground. So that's what happens.
It's being fumigated by choice. But yeah,
you filled a room with
of your own village.
Yeah.
So we apologize if there's some audio issues, but we had an emergency relocation act happen. So. As always, Patreon link and our partners links in the show notes. Parker, what do we got?
No news?
No news. No news is good news is what they say in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, we have currently playing. Aaron, what are you currently playing?
I am currently playing Unaffiliated Jank.
I need a trash scale on the unaffiliated jank.
I'm gonna go 8.5.
Ooh,
it is.
That's a spicy unaffiliated.
It is high on the jank. I'm gonna level with you. There is a not likely but non-zero chance I'm gonna tweak this roster and take it to LVO.
So as the personal expert, in my opinion, of playing leaderless lists in general, go for it. It's the funnest shit ever.
I know, right?
It's so fun. You just get to fucking twist the knife and look into people's eyes as they get sad. It's so great.
I don't give a shit what models I put together. Like, just what do I want? Put these 4 models on the table and just rip face. I'm like, yeah.
So, do you have a leader in the list just to fake people out?
Oh, there's many leaders. They're just not choices that are affiliated.
This is a true statement. I have 4 leaders.
Yeah.
I have 0 affiliated cards. And I think it's possible to play in one of the leaderships, but almost realistically, no.
Can we guess the leaders?
Yeah, that's just like...
Sure, guess the leaders.
Crimson Dynamo.
Oh, I know one.
Well, you don't count because you got the watch part of one.
So, Crimson Dynamo. Is that true?
Will you cookie while I wait?
No, not Crimson Dynamo.
I'm out.
Parker, do you have a guess?
Yeah, like, as soon as you said Crimson Dynamo, I went, ooh, that's sexy. What a great choice. And you're like, no, bullshit. That's no way. I'm going to say, I know one. Is one of them Blackagar Boltagon?
The answer is no.
Oh,
in a hint,
I thought it'd be sexy.
I have the Soul Gem attached to a character in this list.
Why is he so sexy?
Doctor Strange?
It is not Doctor Strange.
God damn it!
You have 2 more guesses before you're
I'm just
completely
fucking with them now.
out.
Thanos?
Yes.
With Soul Gem?
It's Soul, Space, Thanos, and every single re-rolling, hard-hitting 3, 2, and 4 you can fit in a list.
Oh my god.
All I'm doing is death decreeing every
I'm
attack.
saying your leadership is Death's decree.
Yeah, yes. Turns out it's a pretty good fucking leadership.
You're gonna punch holes in people's faces.
I'm telling you, Black Panther rolling 9 dice fucking slaps pretty damn hard when he gets to re-roll all 9 dice.
Yeah. Or
why is he rolling 9 dice? Because it's on the backside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could just do the kinetic burst, which gets up to 8, 9?
It's 6, so it could be 9 on the front.
Yeah, so it's 9 on the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it goes to 11 on the front, right? With Death's Decree?
With Death's Decree, yes.
Yeah, Death's Decree. So it's full rerolls 11 dice on the front.
Need 5
And if you
power.
daze him, it's 13.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know if the list is good, but holy shit, is it pretty fun when you're playing like Thanos, Mystique, X-23, Sabretooth, Black Panther, Nebula. You put all these in a list and you're like I have one strategy. I'm just going to murder everyone. And if
Turns out when someone just sets your hair on fire and you run at them, it's really scary.
And when your answer is to murder me back and all I do is get scarier, yeah. Like, I actually think it has legs in some fashion. I just don't know how long those legs are. So we're going to find out in the next 2 weeks or so.
Do you like Soulstone before Power Stone?
So
do you feel like the ceiling is better?
I played it with Power twice and Soul twice. I want to say Soul is going to be more impactful, but I needs more testing.
Outside of turn 1, it's obviously better. And then, so turn 1, you just guarantee the 1 extra power, as opposed to denying them the ability to use superpowers on the midline, which is actually really annoying. And you're like, I'll just jam Thanos way up there if they don't have a lot of threat. And then it's like, well, you can't use superpowers or I get the Death Decree again. And then it puts it in their court, which is not a choice they want to make.
Yeah, Kenny's playing like Juggernaut, and I'm like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Reduce damage.
So I guess if you don't want to get Death Decree again, you're not going to DR this. And he's like, I guess not. Like, ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is interesting that Soulstone is one of those things it's kind of like Hulkbuster's leadership. Is that on paper, you're like, yeah, how many times is this actually going to happen? Well, as it turns out, a lot, because people that get played are also characters that have lots of powers.
Yeah.
And so you're like, when you play it in a vacuum, it's probably not that strong. But when you play it in a meta, it gets better because people choose things like that.
Well, and like Brandon said, you literally need for Soulstone to trigger once for it to be worth it on a turn-by-turn basis.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of that, it's the mindfuck of, like, he firewalled me. I'm like, okay, great. Give me root. You just also gave me a power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, completely negates at least the first instance of that root.
Yeah.
So, and then
Soulstone is really good.
So, obviously, Power Stone is better in certain circumstances, but I'm testing them both.
Yeah. I think it's worth it just for the mindfuck of, like, don't use your superpowers, because everyone in the world knows don't give Thanos power unless you're going to kill him. And so now you just put him just in the annoying spot like Loki, and which is what he wants to do anyway in the list you're playing. He just wants to be kind of involved, but not really, and then it just fucks everything.
Yep.
But you said it was soul and mind?
Soul space.
Space. So he really is just like a pure like tower support.
He's the leader.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is one cosmic portal and Death Decree every attack until he runs out of power, and then do it again next turn.
Yeah, you get to Death Decree basically every turn.
Multiple times, usually.
How often can
every turn?
Turn. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so like basically everybody is going to get one attack with plus 2 dice, and that's
well
until they get the flip on their backside and it's plus 4 dice.
Sure, if he whiffs his attack on turn 1 or 2, then you might run into some issues, which I have in some games. But
look at Zemo. You daze Zemo, and then he's swinging back with 10 dice, full mods, plus an extra reroll. And it's just like, son of a bitch. Like, this guy hits like a fucking truck.
Yeah.
And then you have to try and kill him through Counter-Strike on the backside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sabretooth gets to Death Decree on your turn.
Yeah, Death Decree on your turn is pretty cute.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage pumps thing. There's a lot of characters that love damage pump.
Yeah, when you don't worry about affiliation, and you can put all of them in the list, Like I said, I don't know that it's like super meta busting, but I need to test it into some meta lists because it is pretty fun.
I guess it's just the only thing I would consider is so far, I'll just ask you. So far, is it better to spend the 8 points you could use Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight? Is it better to spend it on 8 other points worth of models and not be affiliated? I was thinking specifically for some of the cards that I'm just playing Blackwater has. Like Blackwater cards are pretty strong. Like, do you really feel like, okay, I got 8 points for these 2 models that are really good at killing things, who do use extra dice really well. Both of them do. So these other, however, I'm going to take that 8 points. I'm going to spend it on any other thing in the game, and you're getting more out of it. I'm not asking you. I'm not making a point to not do what you're doing.
Sure.
I'm just curious. Do you feel like that's happening?
So I want to say I've never played Thanos Corvus Proxima as a Black Order list. Like when I did my Black Order stick this year, it was Corvus without Thanos. I've seen it played into it several times. Obviously, it's good, but I feel like it's very dissectable, right? Just like separate the husband and wife, make him spend actions that he doesn't want to spend, power starve him. Like if he doesn't have 7 power for a spender with Death's Blow, Glaive's Edge, Death's Blow. I think
Glaive's Edge.
Then sometimes he can just whiff. He doesn't have any dice mods, so giving him extra dice possibly makes him hit harder. Let me put it this way: I'm not super scared of that list. Like it could go off and I die. Okay, it happens, right? But I really, really like the reroll all. Just like Brandon was saying, for 7 points I can put Panther and Zemo in a list, and for the low cost of 2 power, now I get to Mantle, and then I get to Death Decree his strike, 7 dice reroll all, which normally generates a shit ton of power. That then lets me Pounce and Spender, 9 dice reroll all. Like it's just stupid. Like I want to say, granted that is contingent on getting power with your 7 dice full rerolls. But if you do, it only costs, I think it costs 6 power for a 9 dice full rerolls. And at the low end, 3 power for 6 dice full rerolls. Right? So you're getting somewhere between, let's call it, 7 and 7 with full rerolls on both of them. I want to say that is probably superior damage to an equivalent 2 power spend out of Corvus Glaive. And Corvus Glaive is going to be 5 threat in that example. So long way to say I'm not sure, but I really like the way I'm going, and we're going to continue testing this at least for another week or 2.
Yeah, I would. Your Thanos setup makes me interested because I've been staring at my Black Order list for a long time, trying to decide if I want to put it down, and I've always put Thanos as a scary piece, just like a reality space or something like that, because he's like going to be offensive, and I never actually play him. Like you said, I've just been running the Corvus stuff because I enjoy that part of Black Order more. But like using a entirely facilitating like support Thanos, I wonder if it would work with Black Order, but because it absolutely works. I do like your idea of rerolling though. I've often been thinking recently about characters that seem super duper good with their damage output because they reroll and they're considered to be like top end damage dealers in terms of their consistency. I was like one day I was thinking about Magneto, right? Magneto, once he gets in range 1, he feels like such a monster. Now he does have the benefit of attack with great dice, throw immediately, and that's why he eliminates models so well in one turn. But I was like, Captain Marvel rolls the same amount of dice rerolling, right? As long as she's in binary form. And she does it from range 4 instead of range 1 in energy. And she's much more defensive. However, she doesn't get the throw also, right? So she taps out lower. But if you're just looking for rerollable dice, she has as many as Magneto. That's why I started putting her on the table again. I was like, wow, she feels so consistent and so strong. And what you're describing is a similar thing to that, right? You're just going 6 dice plus with all rerolls, making models that normally don't get up to those tip-top levels, put them up there to those tip-top levels, and make it really consistent. It makes sense.
Well, the other thing is, let's say at 17, I can run Thanos, Nebula, Black Panther, Baron Zemo. What do those other 3 characters all have in common?
Tempo.
They share 2 things. What's that?
Tempo.
Well, specific attributes on their cards.
They have reroll, like everything.
All 3 of them reroll all, and they all move long.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please.
Well, I'm just glad that after all this time, we were able to finally say that Thanos is playable. I mean,
yeah, I'm working for it. Yeah.
Guys, when Josh posted in the Discord channel, he's like, so I played Thanos for the first time. What the holy fuck is this model? Like, why was this okay? Like, and it's after the nerf.
It's not okay.
Like,
I mean, what you're doing there is very close to what you were doing with Weapon X, with Thanos in there. I mean, that's what you were describing, but you were at least you were throttling yourself with like one useless model and then two amazing ones.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have no throttle. I mean,
so the thing I was going to point out for your list that I've noticed is a lot of your models not only have super premium quality attacks that you can add dice to, but also have the high tempo. Like, they can get where they need without necessarily spending actions. Like, Zemo's got the long charge, Black Panther's got the pounce, Nebula's got the range 3 spender with a place on it, so she has a follow-up automatically. So I think that's also a big part of it. When you combine that with the Space Stone, all of a sudden you can apply your damage wherever you want, like almost guaranteed every round.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually trying. I'm searching real hard for a leadership that's better than that. You are spending 8 points to get it, so that's, I think, probably why it's brought down to fair and not over the top. But as a support model, which is functionally the way you can look at a leader, right? They're supporting your entire list. He is supporting the entire list. As long as he's able to continue to do that, you're spending 8 points for somebody who can continually give dice and continually move their models. So that's probably an 8 die. It's probably an 8 cost leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not saying it's bee's knees gonna take LVO, but I am having fun.
Just fun. On the Parker's comment about playing affiliated, if you did go into Black Order, obviously you'd basically be forced to play Cosmic Ghost Rider, which not only would synergize, but would also like make you hate yourself. So I understand that why you haven't.
Yeah.
But pretty obviously, I think that's actually an unexplored avenue. Is just do actual Black Order instead of doing Guardians, and then just run at people with Death Decree.
Yep.
I consider playing. By the way, in my Black Order list I'm tossing around, I'm not putting Cosmic Ghost Rider in it on general principle. Not because it's good, but on general principle.
But
so
you're taking
I feel like
Thanos,
we did,
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Taking
All right,
Thanos.
you have
I'm
no
taking
principles.
Zero principles.
No.
Not a backboned insight.
Thanos is inevitable. Cosmic Ghost Rider is
not inevitable.
He's not inevitable.
Well, I see this thing happening that we did a lot in War Machine, which is everyone refused to play the obviously broken stuff, which actually I think, in my opinion, just led to it never getting nerfed. And so I think actually, like, maybe not at local game night when less people want to practice into it, but like if you're going to a tournament, like you should be playing the thing. Like if you're actively avoiding playing the thing, you're just giving them a reason not to deal with it. Like, so I think it's actually more important that if you want to see the thing get fixed, that you actually like put it out there for everybody to see. But anyway, so that was a long currently playing for Aaron. Jeremy, what are you currently playing?
Still doing Guardians, just messing with the list Kenny had built a while back. Aside from some dice, it is absolutely the silliest shit I ever played. Very, very strong. And it does have Cosmic Ghost Rider because he's good.
Because you're not afraid of no ghosts?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Cool. Alright, Parker, what are you playing?
I'm still kicking around my Defenders list. I'm really, really having fun with it. It's still, it's funny, I went to play Convocation and Defenders for a long time, and I only got to play straight down the middle on ease. And I was like, man, I don't even know why I need Convocation to this list. I'll just play Defenders, and because that's all I'm ever playing anyway. And now, since I switched to Defenders, I'm playing only, like, crazy spread out Bs and, what is D? I played 1Ds, and I was like, man, I need to have a switch in here. This is not as good when I have to spread out. But it is still playable, mostly because Defenders just they have a wide variety of models. They are very much a potpourri of stuff. That's one of the old problems with them, is they didn't really have an identity. But now I'm coming to appreciate the fact that they can really pivot to some very different types of models.
Cool. I have thrown together a really bad Cabal Hydra list for our upcoming Battle Realms tournament. I have not had a chance to play it yet. I blame you, Ryan, for bailing on me, but I plan on playing some games soon. I'm excited. Basically, if you just put all the Red Skulls in one list, you can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
Cut off one Red Skull, and two more shall take its
more
place.
shall take its place. Fact.
The reddest of the skulls.
Yeah. So, in other news, Jeremy, did you know that not all construction work is equally enjoyable? For example, enlarging a drill hole is boring, but fastening pieces of metal together is riveting.
Uh-huh. That was a long way to go for basically.
I really loved how far it went.
I like that one. That's a good one. That's a keeper.
Yeah, that is a...
Tell your friends.
Put that one in the vault. That was really good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you did.
I actually like how you took your time, too. You gave it a long pause.
Well, the best is because, I know Jeremy is just in an eternal suffering as long as I'm not talking in between the dad joke and the punchline. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like to draw it out. It's
like one of those YouTube videos where the guy just says, oh man, I'm about to pour this in. When I pour this in, it's going to be so great. It's been steeping all day long. You're going to love the color. We're going to pour it in just a moment. It's 20 minutes of that, and he never pours the thing. Yeah, it's one of those. Just leave him in perpetual anticipation. I personally, have you seen the videos where it's just a train is coming and there's a person walking down the tracks backwards, and it just starts cutting back and forth between them, and the cuts get faster and faster and faster, but they're just the same clips played faster, and so it never actually gets anywhere because you're seeing the same footage over and over again. I fucking hate those. Yeah. Did you ever see Andy Samberg's "When Will the Beat Drop"? Have you ever heard that one?
No.
Yeah, it's a take on electronic DJ music, and, he goes, and the name of the song is "When Will the Beat Drop," and so he goes, "When will the beat drop? When 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 will the beat drop?" And it never drops. It just keeps doing that. It just keeps looping, and everyone starts getting really, really nauseous. People start vomiting, and it's pretty funny.
That is pretty funny
because it just they'll never they keep not getting the beat to drop. It's pretty funny. Cool.
All right. So moving on. Aaron, we have a fun topic today that includes some listener questions, I believe.
We do. So we thought we would, instead of trying to give people what we wanted for Christmas, we would give them what they wanted for Christmas. So we asked them what they wanted. Turns out they want us to answer some questions for them. So we have 9 Patreon submissions for listener questions for what they want us to talk about. MCP or non-MCP related.
I saw the light in Kenny's eyes ignite when you said it did not be MCP related. And I was like, oh, great. Now we're going to answer the hot dog and hot dog buns question 8 times. Maybe. So my plan here, there's about 24 questions or so, is to kind of rapid fire. We don't need to go into 10 minutes on your answer to a question because there's 24 of them. And if we're each answering them, on the other hand, I don't need a one-word answer unless you think that's appropriate. All right, so spend a little time, but not too much. Cool?
Cool.
Not cool.
Not cool. Okay.
Not cool.
How about this? I'm just going to answer them as quickly as I want.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I like your
I'm very concerned with the speed at which you want me to answer these questions.
Quickly as I want to. Yeah.
If it's the inkblot test again, they're all penises. It's very obvious.
Speaking of penises, our first submission is from Zach.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Whoa.
What?
I thought these were anonymous.
No, not anymore. Now they get full credit for their questions.
Oh, okay.
How
about we say the name? Because I thought we were going to do this a little bit differently. But if you want to do this, is fine. I thought we were going to ask the questions, answer the questions, then give a rating, and then you tell us who they were from.
Sure. Okay. We can give a rating of how well we think their questions.
Yeah.
How good they were.
We'll give them 1 to 5 pizza rolls, and then they'll.
Okay. Well, then I will not go with Zach first. We will go with a random person. A random person writes in.
This person's name is not Zach.
Not Zach. Inspired by the recent Battlestar talk, what is each host's favorite episode of a TV show? Jeremy, go.
The Office, the marriage of Jim and Pam. There's 2
Okay.
episodes
Oh,
to
the
that,
wedding.
but
The
yeah,
actual
the
wedding.
wedding
Yeah.
episode is really good.
That's a good one. That's a fun episode. I did not know about the the song. I didn't know about that until the episode aired. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I was like, what am I not getting? He's like, oh, it's like an internet thing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Brandon, if you're going to double down on Exodus, you must explain or choose your second most favorite.
Okay, I will explain. I'm going to double down. I don't know that it's still my favorite, but the problem with it not being my favorite is I'd have to pick a single episode of Always Sunny and not the entire show. And I could probably do that, but it'd be like ripping my own hand off. But the reason I love Exodus is I think it's the perfect like climactic arc within a 1 hour format. Like you start off in one place without trying to not give spoilers. You start off in one place, and it's obviously like moving one direction, and then there's a lot of like acceptance of like things you can't change and making sacrifices for the betterment of others, and like the hard decisions a lot of characters have to make throughout that episode, and getting to the end of it, it's also like got tons of action, tons of drama, tons of suspense. But when you get to the end of the climax, you're just like, is this really how this is all going to end? Like, you're like, if you like the show, you're so bought into the characters at that point, and it feels like the show has taken a direction that you might not like, but also that might be earned. And so it puts you in a really weird spot, like emotionally, that you're giving up on these characters, but at the same time, I feel like it's pretty much what all the characters would have done in that situation. So it's really brutal to go through that. And then the end of the episode is just, I think, so perfect. And so it's just my favorite episode of the show by far. And it is one of my more favorite shows ever. Let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to put on this.
But you ran out of time.
I ran out of time. Okay. I'll come back to it later.
Parker.
Season 1, Episode 5 of Blue Eye Samurai, The Tale of the Ronin and the Bride. I'll just give you a really brief reason. It's an A story, a B story, and a C story in that episode. And this totally breaks from the structure of the rest of the show. Mm-hmm. And each one of them is masterfully told and weaves with the others and plays with the others. Each one is equally tragic and terrible and captivating. And it just does... It is, in my opinion, like the best version of a show making all 3 stories so important to the overall episode. It's episode 5 of season 1 of Blue Eye Samurai.
Okay, my answer is Box Cutter from Breaking Bad.
Ooh, yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, question number 2. What is each host's most reliable MCP model? One who always seems to perform above and beyond, regardless of things like odds or common sense. Jeremy.
My opponent's Thanos.
That you cannot change the answer. That is the perfect answer.
It is a good one. Okay, we're gonna skip Brandon.
How does anyone follow that? I'm gonna go with an actual answer, which is Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. I'm going to stick with my same answer I gave whenever somebody asked me what's the best model of the game. To me, it is him. I've never seen him once not roll a wild in one of his 2 defensive rolls. And he always just crushes people with his basic attack. And he always teleports himself and somebody else in the same activation.
Yep.
I've thrown him into terrifying situations, and he's a monster.
Cool. Brandon, what is your most reliable MCP model? One who performs above and beyond, regardless of the odds. And while you're thinking about that, I'll give mine. Mine is going to be, it's actually a tie, a 3-way tie, between the Hydra Troopers, the Shield Agents, and the Ultron Drones. Like, every fucking grunt character.
All the grunts.
The expectation is that they do nothing. The reality is, they fucking like 1 round 5 threats, routinely. Yeah, I don't know what it is about grunts. Every fucking game, they do something that they shouldn't. Okay, Brandon, back to you.
Jeremy already went.
Yep.
I will go with, I guess, Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he does. He actually, the problem is his attacks actually fail me on a regular basis. But when I activate Magneto, I have a good feeling of what I'm going to get done, and it almost always gets done, even if the attacks don't come through, because the reliability of the throws that back it up, and also there's a lot of times where I don't actually care if I kill you, I just need to move you, so I'm going to move you with my attack. He gets to do so many cool things.
Awesome. Okay. Third and final question from random person. What MCP affiliation do you think another host should give a competitive try in 2024? So pick one host and something they should play, and very shortly why they should play that.
Oh, tell another host.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think
one of us.
play.
Yeah.
I think Brandon
Mm-hmm.
should play Weapon X.
God, fuck you.
I also think Brandon should play Weapon X.
Okay, I'm gonna go out
You mean Weapon X Force Men Club, right?
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, Weapon X Force Men Club. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. You play them all.
I am going to challenge Jeremy to pick up the robots and stop making them make him their bitch, and instead the other way around. So Jeremy needs to play some Sentinels.
This docking is going in the other direction.
Brandon?
Man, as tempting as it is to make Jeremy play Sentinels, I'm gonna say Aaron needs to play webs more often.
Oof.
I know you've played webs, but I think you're really good at playing webs. I think you should focus on webs for a period of time.
So you want me to lose all my friends? Okay.
No, I just don't even want you to lose all your games.
Ouch. Well, I appreciate that. Okay. So that was person C. First of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do we appreciate and like their questions? Realize if you give them a 1, that they're just going to unsub. But
so if I give them a 5, will they sub to Patreon?
Maybe.
Ooh, 4.5 then.
1 out of 10, you're giving it a 4.5?
I'm actually giving them a 4 out of 10. Sorry, I was in my head it was out of 5. I'll give this an 8. This was really good.
Okay.
I like the variety of questions, and I like that it's like that typical questions you ask, but they were interesting questions as opposed to boring ones. And so this is good. This is a good submission.
Parker.
I'm hesitant to do this, but I'm actually going to go ahead and give it a 10.
Room for improvement, man. Come on.
And the reason why I'm swinging big, and it's one is because I generally don't look before I leap, and 2, I thought they did a really good. I liked how each question allowed different people to give an answer that was both personal and also kind of applicable. Right? People could listen to the answers and take something from them. We also got to talk about things that we care about individually. So it was advice and experience rolled into one. I like that.
I would like to give Parker's rating a 2 out of 10.
And Jeremy.
Being that we have not heard the rest of them, I don't know what they're compared to, but I'm going to give it a 6. I think that they were interesting, and I did not hate it.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 9. I thought it was really, really, really good. I enjoyed those questions. Okay, moving on. That was Newman. Thank you, Newman.
This is, okay. Now I have to go to the channel and see who this person is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I thought I remembered this name. That makes sense.
Next, we have a new person. Question 1.
He keeps trying to name them.
Mm-hmm.
What first hooked you on MCP? Jeremy.
Infinity War was fucking incredible, and I probably would have played any game that stapled models from that movie to that. Yeah.
Brandon.
Okay, I'm going to ramble a bit, but we're going somewhere. So just hold with me. So I played a lot of War Machine, right? Everyone knows that. At one point, I heard through my dark secret back channels that there was a rumor floating that the reason everybody was leaving Privateer Press was to go work on a Marvel skirmish game. I heard that 2 years, I think, before the game actually came out. The second I heard that, I was just mentally preparing for the game to come out. And once it did, I was like, there's literally no chance I'm not going all in on this game as hard as I can. And I was not disappointed. I had a lot of fun. It's a good game.
Parker?
I'm always a skeptic of new games, even games that look cool and have things that appeal to me, because I've been burned before. And so this game definitely checked all the boxes, but I had to wait for it to have a couple expansions and get a little deeper. But once I saw the kind of things they were interested in adding to the game, and every time they were so consistent. So I think it was really just, as they were continuing to add characters, they always represented the characters from the comics. That's always my favorite part, is I always feel like when I put a model down, even though it's a similar size of plastic and a similar base it's on, it feels like Dr. Octopus. It feels like Doctor Strange. It feels like, Baron Mordo. It's like it's making me this world that I love. It's on the tabletop somehow, and I love that.
Cool. And for me, the first thing that hooked me in MCP was the fact it was the only competitive war game in town other than 40K. Like, that was literally it.
Ooh, you should not use those two phrases in a sentence.
Is that what I said?
So you believe that, what was it? It was been 8th edition 40K was a competitive war game?
Moving on.
Yeah, we can go down this road.
I'm ready to create enemies. Like, I don't know about you guys. I'm going to go to war.
So that's why we started MCP. What made you stick with it? Jeremy, why are you still playing it today?
I am a big believer, or whatever. The best game in the world, if nobody's playing it, it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of people that are playing it that played other games with me. So as long as people continue playing it and the rule set continues to be what it is, I will play it. I like playing games.
Brandon?
Yeah, what keeps filling me... I actually still enjoy pretty much every game I play. It's still fun. I love the characterfulness of the individual models. I just have a good time playing it.
Parker?
I have to play Fantastic Four for a year, so until that comes out, and it's a year after that, then I can't stop.
And I have to beat him with Doom every single time we play. So.
And I'm perfectly fine with that.
Like, I agree that all 4 models are worse than your one model. I get it.
And I'm not gonna lie. It was like the second thing I thought about in this game. The first thing was, okay, I'm gonna buy some models. The second thing was, I wonder when Fantastic Four will come out, and I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah, the week that Magneto was released, I read his card probably 100 times. Every time I just read it again going, man, this is so cool. It's just like, I was so fucking pumped.
For me, it's the community. And by that I mean mostly the local community. I really, really enjoy showing up on Thursdays or tournaments. Whether it's, like I said, the local game nights, or the Muse crew who comes on down, or the Springfield crew, or the Omaha crew, Lawrence, all the crews that come in. I just love the people and getting to interact with them. So it's really a mechanism for interacting with really cool people that's made me continue to show up day in, day out.
I can't second that hard enough. I think it was the last tournament we did before the team up tournament. I just finished setting up all the tables, gotten all the chess clocks out, and I was just kind of standing there taking a breath, like, as I've been working for the last 45 minutes to get the tournament ready. I was just standing next to Brandon Morris. I kind of like took a pan around the room. I just like took in the scene, and I just turned to Brandon and said, "We have the best fucking community in like the whole world. I love every one of these guys. There's like 24 people here for a tournament, and I want to play a game against every one of them."
Yep. Yeah. Okay, question number 3. Jeremy, what's the favorite MCP list you've made or played?
Favorite? Oh, mercy. Dormammu and I-Hulk was pretty fucking fun. That was probably my favorite list I've ever put together and played. I've yet to ever see it again, and I don't know that there's a place for it. But it was so much goddamn fun.
Brandon.
Jeremy will remember this one. My Doctor Strange Magneto list before Doctor Strange got nerfed was the most fun I think I've ever had playing this game. It was definitely not okay. Doctor Strange was fuck busted. But it was so fun because it was just shooting cruise missiles at people and they couldn't respond.
For those of you who are listening at home, Brandon could see my face. My face was full of joy and interest to answer this question, and then he mentioned that list, and my eyes and lips became perfectly like parallel with the floor.
Master of time and space.
Just immediately, that's how I learned to play this game. By the way, was playing against that list, and it was the worst.
Okay, but what's your favorite list, though?
My favorite list is probably Bucket of Bullets, which was It was originally with Sin, but then it was Daredevil, just all the rapid fire models. And that list is just it trims my trigger, which is just roll so many dice. Just roll.
It's your favorite thing, dicing people with 4 dice attacks.
Yeah,
it is.
It really is. I've had success with other stuff, and Bucket of Bullets definitely has its limits, but I really, every once in a while, I just pull that list back out and I play it again and I table someone and I'm like, this is so much fun. This is so much fun.
My answer is going to be Defenders. Daredevil Defenders specifically. I don't know that you can have more fun playing MCP than Daredevil Defenders. It feels relatively fair and balanced, especially if you don't bring Hulk. Just to run forward into your opponent and get rerolls for doing so, and it's just a slugfest.
It helps that people constantly oblige your Daredevil by leaving him with enough power to spender and collecting somehow 7 models together in the same place. And just like, I don't know who. I feel like you might activate his Sabretooth first. I'm going to attack Sabretooth, and Daredevil's
and just get killed by Sabretooth
standing there with 5 power, and you're like.
It's not the most competitive list, but it is the most fun. Anyway, okay. Rapid fire here. Jeremy, question 4. Favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, easy. Return of the Jedi.
Brandon.
We're gonna get so much hate mail. Rogue One.
Parker.
Can I say this? Can I say the season finale of Boba Fett?
No, and
Jesus
you
Christ.
should not. That is so
God
bad.
damn it.
Say anything else.
Well, I liked it because it's the Mandalorian season 2.2 or whatever. I guess favorite, so I have to pick one that's better than the others.
Yes, favorite movie.
I can't explain the question anymore.
Read the question again. He didn't hear it.
Sorry, it's...
How do you not have this locked and loaded? How many times has someone asked you this question?
The 9 movies. There's 9 movies, and there's the 2...
Han Solo, Rogue One, the Holiday Special, and the 9.
Yeah.
That's not that many.
Ewok Christmas.
Ewok Christmas Special.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
I'm thinking.
Oh my god. Aaron, go.
I was going to say Empire Strikes Back, but your Rogue One struck a nerve, and I have to agree with you on that one.
Ooh. It's so good. It's not even the best it could have been. It was hamstrung from the start, and it's still good.
Okay, Parker, do you have one, or are we skipping you?
I think we're skipping. The biggest Star Wars fan on the show is getting skipped.
No, I'm having a hard... The problem is I'm having a hard time picking one.
Okay. Name
all right,
2 that
so
you like.
your favorite one, though.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to kill a kid. I asked you to pick a fucking movie.
Man.
This is really hard for me.
It's not. Just pick one. I
guess I'm going to go with...
We're going to put down on the paper you don't like Star Wars if you don't answer the question.
No, this is the problem. Like, this is like picking my...
Just say Rogue One. We did.
Rogue One is my bottom of my barrel. I'm going to go... I guess I'm going to go with...
episode number.
He loves it so much, he can't remember it.
No, I'm just gonna say 4 because 4 is my Just go with 4.
Okay,
4 is my second favorite.
Just go with the start of it.
A New Hope.
It is the one. It's the one I've seen the most. A New Hope is the one I've seen the most.
New Hope is the strongest of the original 3 by far.
Okay, well, we're gonna go reverse order for this one. Parker, is Jar Jar Binks a Sith Lord?
No.
Brandon.
I've been told not to tell people to unalive themselves, so no. I'll just answer with no.
Jeremy.
Don't care.
I'm gonna be with Jeremy on that one. Okay, those were the questions from... Ooh, we don't get a name yet. Let's rank order them. Okay, what hooked us? What made us stick with this? What made us stick with it? Favorite list and some Star Wars stuff.
I'm going to give this one a 6. Solid, not great, but solid. Mostly being brought down by the Star Wars thing. Go ahead.
Jeremy.
Same answers as Brandon, except this goes to a 4.
Jeremy is not generous with his numbers.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
The Star Wars shit.
I really like.
Honestly,
I like the Star Wars stuff, other than Jar Jar. But
for the people at home, please explain how your rounding system works. So 6 or 7, please.
No, 6.248, bitch. I'll give whatever goddamn number I want.
I'm glad we got a 6 out of you. That's good.
But asking us what made us stick with MCP, and then kind of the intro, why did we first start it? And I think those are some pretty interesting questions to get some insight into why we continue to play.
I mean, I would have personally preferred if you had actually answered the question honestly, though.
Parker.
I'm gonna go with a 4. I've never been so beside myself with a question in my whole life.
Dear God, he's going to think about this for weeks. Please move on.
He's drunk on dog piss. We need.
Well, okay, I have to increase my rating to a 7 then, because thank you, Zach. That was Zach. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Solid questions.
Okay. Next up, Jeremy. Out of the 4 of us, who would survive a zombie apocalypse longer, and why? Side note, you cannot vote for yourself.
Oh.
And as a bonus question,
Ooh.
how does each of you die?
Oh, this is a fun question then. So it was going to be
Your
tied
name is-
1 to 1 to 1 to 1 until he said don't vote for yourself.
Okay, Jeremy, who lives longest?
The longest? Who lives the
Mhm.
longest?
Yep.
Probably
Can't vote for
Brandon.
yourself.
He's the fucking cockroach.
I'll be the person that's still alive and will make you kill yourself.
And what was the second?
so-
How do I die?
How does each of you die? Yeah. So how do you
let's
die?
How
let's
do
do the
I
each of
die?
us die later.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone name who's going to stay alive the longest. I'm going to say Aaron because it's obvious. Aaron's willing. Aaron knows the rules of zombie movies and is willing to cut bait when it's time to cut bait. Now, I'm not saying he's going to want to. I'm just saying he knows the drill.
Parker.
I'm going to say Aaron because he lives farthest away from a population center.
Oh,
And
fucking
that increases his likelihood by a huge degree.
logic, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Parker because I think
Ooh.
Jeremy and Brandon could give a fuck when the zombie apocalypse comes. They're just going to be like, whatever, we're done. Parker has
Finally,
like
we're out.
kids to live for, and
Mhm.
not that
do
Jeremy
I not
doesn't.
get
but
bonus points for having the most firearms of all of us?
no.
Damn it.
I can just see
I-
you
okay,
like
The thing I
continuing to
definitely
like.
should get points for. I own the most swords of all of us too. Like you guys need to really take an inventory.
I will. I
I'm
appreciate
my
that you
sword
say
right
that,
now.
because I do absolutely have apocalypse plans. Like
See?
I have logical plans for how it is that I save my family and myself. Yeah, I do have that.
I definitely own a zombie killing axe, and I will show it to you if you want.
Okay, second
It's
part of the
specifically
question:
designed for the zombie apocalypse.
how does each of us die?
Parker dies going back for the dog.
Oh no, that dog.
No, but because your family is like,
Yeah.
we got it. Yeah, you'd be peer pressured into it, and you'd go.
I'd say absolutely because my family asked me to do some dumb shit, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. They're like, no, Ruffles! And he's like, God damn it. And he runs back over, and then just like, surge of zombies come in.
Yeah. Thanks.
Not because of your own weaknesses.
No,
because
no,
your
I'm
weaknesses
saying-
of wanting to please
I
everyone.
know exactly. I'm saying thanks to them for
Yeah.
suggesting it because, of course, I don't think about it twice.
Anybody else got a reason?
I got one.
Parker dies?
A reason why Parker dies?
Are we all giving a reason for each person, or are we just coming with one reason for each person?
I think.
Let's
Yes.
just do one.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, we're not doing ourselves. I thought we were doing that.
It's ambiguous. Pick a person. It can be yourself. How do you die?
I die. I'm in a CVS. I'm looking for skin medicine for my children, and I get a dog piled by 400 zombies that were waiting for me.
Nice. I'm going to say Aaron dies out of apathy. He just gives up.
He just
He
lays
sleeps
down.
outdoor. He's like, I honestly don't give a shit anymore. Like, he just lays down.
I'm 75% there already.
Yeah.
Parker, you have anything to add?
I think Brandon dies fighting them. Like
I could take 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think you take too big of a bite, no pun intended, and you're just like, I think I got this, and you don't got this.
To be clear, if I get bit, I know how to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight.
Exactly.
Okay, question.
Oh yeah, as soon as you get bit, you're
If
not
you
bitching.
think about the zombie apocalypse this way, it actually should be easy to survive. Everyone only needs to kill one zombie. If everyone kills one zombie, we can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's all those zeros that get us.
Brandon, if you get bit, it would be none of that like, oh...
No, yeah,
maybe
it's
I'm
like,
not
how many
bit,
bullets
maybe
do
I'm
I
not-
have left?
Yes,
That's how
you
many
would.
zombies we're getting. Like,
Exactly. As soon as you get bit, you walk out the door. That's exactly how you're going out. Yeah. Boots on.
Since it's Christmas, what's the weirdest thing you've given someone as a gift? Jeremy.
Oh my god, I've got some horrible answers for this.
really?
I'm not
okay.
going to do that. I really don't know.
Oh, I think I'm
I'm
I
going
think
to
I know
pass
the
for
answer
now.
to
Let me
this.
think of something else. Let me think.
Brandon.
All right, I'm going to say one. I don't know if this even counts. It wasn't a Christmas present, but it was a gift.
I think it counts.
I gave somebody a bottle of Tester's plastic cement filled with water. That's a great gift. I was like, they'll get home and they'll be like, God, this glue is not working.
There's just big drops of water.
No, it was empty, and so I filled it with water. And I was like, hey, you've been wanting to get glue from Hobby Lobby, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, here, I got an extra one. I just gave it. And he's like, cool. And he put it in his toolbox and went home. I was like, that fucker's gonna be so pissed.
That's pretty good.
Oh,
that's a branding gift right there.
Yeah. So I got it. It was a white elephant gift. I found a copy of Boys to Men cassette tape, and that was the white elephant gift. And boy, that one got passed around.
Parker.
I'm struggling to remember the name of the game. I think it was called. It was okay. So it was an MMO.
Okay.
That came out in like early 2000s, late 90s. It was called like
EverQuest?
Island of Rift or Island of
Rifts.
Rift. It was just
Rift.
Yeah, it was just Rift.
Is that what it was called? Okay,
Yeah.
Rift.
Me and Aaron have both played extensive amounts of Rift.
Okay,
really
it's gone,
good.
Right, it's gone now. So in like 2010, I don't know where this came about, but my friends and I found like a box of them unopened, like sealed in the package.
Okay.
And so I gave them away to friends for a long time.
Just Rift.
Yes, I was like, this is a brand
He's
new
like,
game.
you gave me Rift last year, and you're like, ooh, sorry.
And people were, and I was like, man, I got this on. I wrap them up and give them for birthdays. I'd give them for Christmas. I'd just give them to anybody.
You got it like a Big Lots, and you're like, fucking dickbag.
So I gave them copies of a game they could not play. Like they could install it, and there was just no server. It didn't exist.
That's after the server.
Yes, it was it was completely
God.
dead game.
Okay.
I absolutely gave people copies of
Foreshadowing. Parker's going to get kicked off the cast when we open presents.
This was like in 2000 and I think this was like 2001.
If we all
That
get a
game was
copy of
actually
Rift,
pretty good.
oh my God.
So, if you give me a copy of Rift, I will literally stab you.
I would never do that today. This was like college.
Okay.
This is my college buddies. I
Like,
was
you
not.
can either have a pack of Robin or Rift. The game.
Oh yeah, I was broke. We didn't give each other gifts. That was the thing. People are always like, "Wow!"
Like Parker wins the worst gifts.
Yeah. I gave people copies of a game that you couldn't play, but it was pretty good.
Okay. I have two weird gifts I've given. One you'll think is weird, and one you'll be appalled by. The weird one was a turtle. I gave a turtle to someone who didn't ask for a fucking animal.
Oh my God, those live for 8
Randomly
years.
as a
You
turtle.
son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but I did.
You were just at the pet store, like, you know who likes turtles?
Turtles. I don't remember why I did it. I was like
I like
13
the
or something.
Fighting variety, yeah.
The other really weird one was I gave my dad lingerie in my mom's size.
Yeah, that's, knowing your parents, that makes this really weird.
Well,
I'm going to picture them in their younger form.
you should.
Okay. All right.
Question
Cool.
3. What's your most favorite meme, Jeremy?
Okay.
Skeptical hippo is skeptical. I like that one.
That's cool. All right. So I'm not going to say mine, but I'm going to show it to Parker.
What?
Because I don't think mine is rated for television. Oh my god!
I'll be back in a minute. You guys keep talking about
Oh, boy.
whatever you want.
Jeremy, I'm going to send this to you and to Aaron.
Oh, that gets me so hard. Oh man. Oh.
Every time I look at it, I almost cry laughing. I don't know why it's so stupid.
Oh my God.
It's so bad. But yeah, that's not rated for television, so
Oh Lord.
tell you what, message me directly if you're okay with weird humor, and I will send it to you. But
man, that was...
yeah, the first time I saw it, I think I laughed for 10 minutes straight, and then I saved it. It's the stupidest meme, but
I
it's
also
so funny.
like the Mr. Fister.
Mr. Fister's a good one. I found Spider-Man's weak spot. His butthole punches down. That's a good one. And if that one we're publicly sharing, just imagine how bad mine is.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's what we could talk about.
Oh boy, I'm not kidding. Message me directly. I'll send it to you. I cry laughing.
That is pretty wonderful.
Oh boy.
My favorite one I ever found was actually it was this was before like really complicated AIs like ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
They had an unsophisticated AI watch Batman for 10 hours and then make the Batman script. And every time I read the Batman script, I fucking the same thing. I just start crying, laughing. Yeah. It's just when the end where he's like, "I got a present for you, Batman. It's a voucher for 2 parents that cannot be redeemed." This is the Joker's joke. I'm just like that is fucking adorable. That's awesome. It's a coupon for 2 parents that is expired.
Expired on his like birthday.
Yeah, or something like that. It's just it's also when the 2 characters in the Batcave, 2 villains show up. One of them is Two-Face. One of them has 1 face. It's just like that was everything about the AI's description of the Batman script. It's just comedy gold.
There's a video that I watch on the regular that it's just a YouTube video, and I'm not exaggerating in the least. I cry laughing during half the video. And I watched it 3 times this Tuesday and cried laughing through the entire video all 3 times. And I'll send it to you guys if you remind me. I don't know why it's so funny. It's a guy reading Yahoo Answers questions on like specific categories, and it's just like the humanity is doomed. Like that's the only answer I can give you.
That's the Pergnet one, right? The Pergnet.
Mm-hmm. Pergament.
Oh, Pergnet. Oh, that's it.
Oh yeah, my god! It. I literally pissed myself laughing at that video.
Yeah, is it Pergnet?
When he cuts to like the old meme of the painting of the guy trying to read the words on the paper, I just lose it.
Yeah, because he can't. It's written so poorly.
It's so bad. He reads it and he's trying to read it as bad, like correctly, like the way they've typed it. He's trying to read it exactly as they wrote it,
and he can't.
It's written so badly he can't read it, which means like the combination of the letters not only is not words. It doesn't make sense, and it is unpronounceable. Like, it's just so bad. He just has to try like 4 or 5 times to get through it, and he just kind of wings it. He's like, these aren't even words. It's so bad. Anyway, I'm going to grab another ginger beer, because you know what I need? 2 more shots of gin. That's what I need. I'll be right back.
I'm going to...
You going to get some more water?
Give me 2.
All right. Oh, looks like Aaron had a bout of CBS. Crotchety bowel syndrome.
Yep, something like that.
Where we at?
We just talked about our memes and stuff. Mine is private. I'm not going to tell people about it unless they message me directly, because it's a little over the rails for most people, and so I'm not going to burden their psyches with it.
Sure. My most favorite meme is angry wife in bed.
Oh, when you're like, yeah, I bet he's thinking about X.
Yes, and he's like,
yeah.
Should I paint the wall with dark gray or light gray on my minis? I'm like, yeah. You got to be married to get it, but it's totally true.
Well, I mean, it's not, you just have to know a woman to get it, really. I mean, it's not saying anything bad about women. It's just like, we think so differently about things. It's amazing. Like, how our psyches are so different.
The one
and not in a bad way. It's just funny.
Where the guy's laying there and...
yeah.
It's like... I hope Patrick Mahomes is okay.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder if I went to the hospital right now and cut off my own leg, they could surgically attach it to Patrick Mahomes' leg.
That one. That's the one.
Like,
that's so funny.
It's like, not even like, it's like, dude, I'm not kidding. Every single person in Kansas City was like, I own a hacksaw. It's like that Denzel movie where he shot himself and had to give his kid his heart. Like, dude, they can't not do it, right? Like, if I cut it off, they have to use it.
Okay.
It's like, dude, calm down.
So that was person B. We had zombie apocalypse, weird gifting, and favorite memes. Please give a rating.
Okay. Ooh, I actually want to give this an 8. These were great questions. Not as strong as a, like... So the first one had a better structure to it, but these questions were better. So I'm going to give this an 8 as well, but in a different way.
Jeremy, or part.
I'm giving it an 8. Those were fun.
Parker is not currently here, so I'll give him a rating as well. Hi, my name's Parker. I'm going to give this a 7.385. Oh wait, no, he would refuse to answer the question because he was too torn. Hold on. Never mind, I can't. I can't possibly choose one of my favorite person questions like that. Okay. He's back now. I don't know if you heard him. He's back now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look, he's still back. You need to rate the question Zombie Apocalypse, favorite meme, and worst gift.
I'm going to rate this one as a 6 because they're all pretty creative. They're all pretty original.
The questions were really creative.
Yeah.
I give it a 7. I liked them. The weird gift thing was weird, but sure. That was from Mr. Kenny. Thank you.
The weird gift one I actually liked a lot because it gives you an insight into the person's sense of humor, honestly, I think is what it is. Because when you give bad gifts, I think you know you're giving a bad gift at the time, and the one you choose to name in this format is the one that you found the most entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah, good job, Kenny.
Next question is going to be a serious one. Put on your serious hat here.
Ooh.
Is MCP actually a highly competitive game? If so, why is there such a strong pull to play whatever you like instead of just playing the best thing? If not, why are people trying to make it that?
Oh. Can I go first?
Yes.
Can we compartmentalize these and just do one thing at a time here?
Okay, so first of all, is
this
MCP
is a lot.
actually a highly competitive game? Yes or no?
I will say no.
I say yes.
Ooh, Brandon.
No, it never has been.
I think there's actually a gray area.
Oh.
I'm going to have to...
Okay.
At the end of the day, I come down on the side of no, but it's definitely with a couple nuances.
Okay, so anyone who's ever actually played a highly competitive game, anybody who has firmly established themselves in one of those game systems would never, ever call this a highly competitive game. Now, you're going to say this has competitive aspects and it's a balanced-ish game. I'm totally fine defending that statement, but it is not a highly competitive game. Compare this to any actually highly competitive game, not even close. Now, that doesn't mean it's not
highly
super
competitive
fun.
Are you saying highly competitive game or highly competitive tabletop game? What are you comparing it
Just
to?
game.
Go?
I think the person asking
Chess?
the question probably intended miniatures game.
That's where I'm at with it.
That's where I would assume. But honestly, I would say there's probably 3 or 4 other games that are well head and shoulders above Marvel. Now, that doesn't mean this isn't the most fun version of miniatures gaming.
So,
Sure,
of
the question
tabletop
is,
games, what are you talking about? What are the more competitive?
Which games were better? So just miniatures games, I think, were noticeably more competitive, highly competitive than Marvel would be War Machine Mark 2 and 3.
I'm talking currently,
Guild Ball.
right? What are you talking? Are we talking in the history of gaming?
Yeah, you can still play War Machine Mark 3. You can still play War Machine Mark 2. The rule set exists.
Okay.
But anyway, so if we're just talking about currently active games, I don't think there actually is a currently highly competitive game. I don't think one currently is produced.
I disagree.
Okay.
Okay, Jeremy, go ahead and defend your perspective.
Any game where the people who are winning win regularly, it's kind of like saying poker is random chance. The best players in poker are constantly the ones that constantly win. It's the same with this game. Most of the time, the same people are winning. There's something to it that makes that happen, and that would be the competitive, even, balanced nature of it.
Okay, I'll take the more nuanced approach in the middle here. There are absolutely, as Brandon said, competitive aspects to the game. I think the vast majority of games are won or lost based off of, I'll call it player skill, whether that's target prioritization or knowledge of your abilities and your opponent's abilities. I still think probably 90% of games are won and lost based on those. However, when you have two players of, I don't know, equal skill is the right terminology, but I'll use it. The game can be too random, right? Because of the dice, which makes it feel bad that you can unlike checkers or chess, right? You can make all the right moves in chess and you win the game. You can make all the right moves in Marvel and still lose the game. I think that's what takes it down a notch in the how competitive can you take it. However, it takes a lot of training and repetitions to get to the point where you're making all the right moves, right? How many times have you played a game and played it perfectly? Like maybe never, maybe a couple. So I don't know. So I think there's both aspects to it.
Mm-hmm. How about, just not to cut you off, but how about we look at it from this perspective? If we said that the most competitive game was a 10 on the scale, and the least competitive game, like, Killer Bunnies, was a 1 on the scale. So we go from chess to Killer Bunnies. Where would you put this out of 10? I would probably personally put it somewhere around a 6.
I was going to say 6.5 to 7.
Yeah.
I was going to say 6.
It's above average. It's definitely got, you have to have high game knowledge, good decision making, and critical thinking to play the game at a high level. There's no question about that. Does player skill come into who wins the games? Absolutely 100% it does. Now, for me, describing something as a highly competitive game puts it in a tier above everything else, even when it comes to competitive gaming. So it's just, I guess, how you take the question. And so I don't think Jeremy's wrong. I think this game is competitive. People play it competitively, and there are people that are very good at it. But when it comes to breaking it down into categories, I would never label Marvel as a highly competitive game. And I am perfectly happy playing it in spite of that.
Okay. My take on it was no, because, and this is me transposing myself into the development of the game, which I'm not 100% confident of. There might be things going behind the scenes that are far more conscionable, but I think they make a very important choice in the design for this game as saying, we're going to make a game that resembles a street fight between superheroes over objectives. And, each character is going to resemble not what we want to have as the perfectly balanced game, but it's going to more closely resemble what they are in the comic books. We're going to give them a point value with big round numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 instead of, 18, 22, 84. We're not going to make this game incredibly nuanced. We're going to make it nice and round so anybody can pick it up and play their favorite Marvel characters and put them down on the board and, beat face, go after the objective. And I think when you're doing that kind of thing, you are making choices specifically to move away from those important things that make a game more competitive, where you're considering the Jedi curve all the time, you're purposely upsetting it, you're making revolving metas, you're managing all that stuff really closely. And this is not like League of Legends, right, where they're trying to make an esport out of this. They're not. They're definitely trying to make this something that people will love playing and enjoy playing with the characters they love. And to that degree, I don't think they totally ignore balance. They must consider it a little bit. But I think that is not their priority. And so I say no. However, and you said the second part of the question was, and I'll go ahead and get there right now, which is, if not, why do people make it competitive? And I think it's just a human nature thing. I mean, people make uber competitive. If you gamify anything, people will immediately try to find the seams. They'll start jumping up against the wall to find the break in geometry to go beyond the map. They'll just jam the space bar until they can fall off the map, right? That's just something people like to try and do.
People speedrun Mario Brothers.
Right, right, exactly. People will try to make it more competitive to increase the challenge, to reward risk, to also seek, to seek that kind of community. I think it's kind of where human nature meets the gamification of any system. So,
okay, I'll go next. I think people, for two reasons. One, I agree with everything you said, but I think there are a lot of people who came from X-Wing, Guild Ball, and and War Machine and MCP. And I think those are three games that are potentially a tick above the competitive level that I think MCP is at. But they're bringing their experiences in a competitive war game to one that isn't quite as competitive, but they're trying to make it so. Because you look around at what else is on the market right now, and there's nothing, right? What are you going to do? Go play 40K? Sigmar? Anything GW? No. we'll talk about this later, but that's one reason why I think Jeremy and I are into Judgment a little bit. Is I think that could be a highly competitive, balanced game. But yeah, people want to play competitive wargaming, and there's not a lot right now out there that's better than MCP. So they jumped in and they tried to make it that. Jeremy or Brandon?
I want to hear what Jeremy has to say.
What was the question exactly again? What are we answering? I feel like we've been talking in circles a little bit.
There's a two-parter. Yeah.
So it depends how you answer the first question.
I do think it's competitive.
Okay. Why is there such a strong pull then to play whatever you like instead of playing the best thing? This question presumes that there is a strong pull to play whatever you want. Yeah. But assuming you agree with that statement, well, first of all, do you agree with that statement?
I don't think there's a pull to play anything. I'm not sure what that even means.
Okay. I think the questioner will reference various other content creators who are saying you can play whatever you want in Marvel. Everything's fine, right?
Oh.
You don't have to play CGR Guardians if you don't want to. Play something else, and you can still do well, is I think a mantra that is out there. So they're saying if that's true, that first of all, it is highly competitive, shouldn't we all be playing the best because that's what we're trying to do? Like, there will be a couple of meta-defined lists. Why aren't you just playing that? Why is everyone telling you to go play Winter Guard? That's the question.
I get it. These are supposed to be fast.
Well, this is a more complex question.
Yeah,
sure.
Answer at your own pace.
No, I think that it's more closely balanced than a lot of people would think, and there's a lot of different ways to play the game. Depending on what you enjoy out of a tabletop game determines which models you're going to take. So if you're trying to play to win, if winning is the only goal you have, honestly, that's a terrible way to live your life. But if that's what you're up to, yeah, sure, look at the odds, look at the numbers, crack it together, and whatever you come up with is what you should play. If you're trying to win at all costs and whatever. But I find it entertaining to do other things that I enjoy in tabletop gaming, which is either funny, clever, neat, whatever, or maybe it's just a badass model I just painted. That has a lot to do with it as well. Are you proud of your models that you painted? Probably want to play some of those. That's my answer. There's just such a variety.
Sure. Thank you, Brandon.
So I know I kind of answered the first one, but when it comes to that, the way I view a competitive rule set is if a group of people try to compete at the highest level, how much does their personal skill and experience determine the outcome of their games? And so in that regard, I think anyone who's played Marvel over an extended period of time knows that the dice and RNG of the game system itself intentionally discourages that result. Now, again, I think the game is competitive. I would never call it highly competitive. So as far as the second question, I think there's a big push for people to play wherever they want because the game is really fun and it's designed to be as fun as possible. And when you come down to it, the developers have firmly planted themselves on the side of, we want this to be a casual, have a good time game. And I think they've accomplished that. And I think anyone who's actively trying to turn it into a hyper-competitive game, they're not really a fan of. But, if people want to play the game however they want, that's fine.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the game is super fun. And people that are encouraged to be able to play wherever they want are doing the right thing. When it comes to a game like this, you should be trying to have the most fun. Because that's really what the game is about.
Absolutely. Okay, let's give a rating to the multi-part question about MCP competitiveness.
This is the only question they asked?
Mm-hmm. All that was important to them.
This is a pretty heavy question, but it's also kind of broad. I'm going to give this one a 5. Not because I didn't like it, but I kind of wish they'd ask more questions.
Okay. Parker?
I'm going to give it a 7. Because I also think it gets to the core of what drives the conversations, the personal motivations of different kinds of players and developers. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay, I'm also going to give it a 7. Unlike Brandon, I think just having one burning question can be just as good as having 3. So I appreciate the complexity of the question. It's a 7 for me.
It was a really good single question. I would like to say personally, I am fucking awful at coming up with these kinds of questions. because usually when I want a piece of information, I go get it. And so when I sit down, they're like, "Oh, ask anything you want." I just stare at the screen. I'm like, "But I don't know what I want." Like, so I like people that are able to come up with these. Good job, guys. Like in general.
Yep. Okay, we're halfway done. Jeremy's AFK for a second, so we'll get his rating later.
I'm here.
And he's back.
Okay.
He's not AFK. He's AFC, away from camera.
Yeah, I'm here.
He's just pissed that we disagreed with him, and he won't talk to us anymore.
No, I'm just upset. This is what happens when I get upset. No, honestly, I'm going to say that that question ended up being much better than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give an extra bonus point for that. So we're going to make it go into a 7.
Okay, cool. That was from the Bob. Thank you, Mr. the Bob.
Hey, Jeremy. What do cows
tell
each other at bedtime?
God damn it!
Dairy tales.
You son of a bitch.
He tried to cut you off.
He tried to shut that down as quick as he could.
Okay, next up, person E. There's a lot of negativity around Marvel with CGR, etc. Once again, a presumption. What gets you the most excited about MCP now? What itch is it scratching for you that another game isn't?
Wait, what? How many questions was that?
It's
2.
a two-parter.
Okay.
So it presumes that there's some negativity about MCP.
Yeah.
Regardless of that negativity, what punches through it and gets you the most excited to play MCP?
Got it. Okay.
Traveling and seeing all your friends.
I like that.
Yep. That's what it is for me.
For me, it's that. Go ahead. For me, it's that as negative as a single model might be, I can go a long time without seeing that model. Even if we're all sure it's a really terrible experience, I can go a long time without seeing that model. And then when I see that model, I can still have a good time. It's not like a foregone conclusion. In fact, I could just run 4-point models at them and they could just die.
I have to interrupt here. Can we get the point of view of somebody who doesn't have 100% win rate versus CGR? Aaron, you had one job. Beat the shit out of Parker. What the fuck happened? We have to deal with this shit now.
What can I say? I'm a failure in life and MCP.
Okay, let's not use CGR. Let's pick another one. Let's pick Thanos, or something like that. And
Black Cat.
Black Cat, sure. Like, I have lost games to Black Cat's bullshit. I have lost games to Thanos' bullshit. But I've also won games against Black Cat and won games against Thanos. And I haven't played... I think if I stacked all my games up on top of each other, I think the number of games with a negative play experience model doing their thing to make me lose the game has got to be less than 5%. Like, it just doesn't... Like, I just get to... And maybe it's because metas purposely shift away from those models to avoid them, or maybe I'm still going to competitive tournaments, and it's just... There's enough RNG that you don't always get those negative play experiences. You can just... When I go to a tournament, I have confidence that I'm not going to just see CGR 6 times. And so far, I haven't been burned by that. So...
It must be nice to live in your world.
I know.
Jesus
I know,
Christ.
and I
You
say
just
that
play the most green players at the store every week, and it's really fun. You used to live your
like
dreams
Aaron.
and splash around in the pool.
Yeah, like Aaron. But I will say that. That being said, I've never had the experience that I know Jeremy has had, where he went to LVO and then he found all the other Malekiths, right? So maybe one day my tune will change, but right now, I would just say that I'm never upset by one of those models, because I've had so many experiences in which it didn't ruin my day or my tournament.
Okay.
So.
I'll go next, and I'll piggyback with Jeremy. I don't know about traveling for MCP, but playing with the community that we have is amazing. I really look forward to, I would say all of the games that I get in.
Even me?
Especially you. Yes.
Oh, wow.
I just like to see how salty you get, and then when you go to the bathroom and cry when you lose.
He doesn't go to the bathroom and cry. He shits himself.
Yeah.
He gets upset and shits himself like a cat.
Shit.
Now, I will also say that, like what I'm doing now with unaffiliated Thanos, like there is still so much you can mine in this game that you can just have fun taking a concept and exploring it. I don't think any one person could ever explore to the extent Marvel has expanded right now, I don't think any one person can explore all of it. So that still
saying
excites
a lot coming
me.
from somebody that's had the goal that you've had over the last year.
That does mean a lot coming from specifically.
Yeah. No, there's still a lot out there.
Yeah.
So that also excites me, not to the level that it did because I played a shit ton, but I still do get excited when I have new random ideas.
So for me, I'm not actually that discouraged by CGR. Obviously, I'm more of the attrition style mindset when it comes to general play style. So having a model that is actually allowed to play the attrition game is nice. I do agree that CGR is too much. But we kind of have a lacking of it. If you take CGR out of the pool, again, everything just turns into scenario lists, which I get is like the primary win condition. But at the same time, it's kind of boring when every game just evolves into points races. So what is the exact question again? I want to make sure
what gets you excited about MCP now?
Okay. The thing that definitely gets me excited is watching Aaron go non-verbal in a game because he's so mad at what is happening on the battlefield. The things I love playing in the game are the exact opposites of what Aaron loves playing. And when me and Parker played the team-up tournament against Aaron, and Aaron got to the point where he's just looking at the board and just wouldn't talk. And then his partner, Jason, who I love, he's a great guy, is like, Aaron, what do you think we should do? And Aaron just like looks at him and then looks back at the table and just stares straight down. And he's like, all right, I'll just do stuff. That's so great. Just watching his soul get ripped in half is just so fucking awesome.
I didn't know that all went down the other day.
Yeah, no, it was so fun. But yeah, I have fun playing the models. Like, the models are fun to play. I know we've harped on this a bunch. I'm not trying to just poster boy, but like, when it comes to problem models in the meta, coming from a game like War Machine, it's like, that's like a challenge. It's like, how do we beat the new hotness? It's like, build a list strictly to beat it. Because while you're going there, you might find something new on the way. Like, just because it's a whole new problem to solve. And obviously, after enough testing, there's probably models that are too good, but like that's been true for a long time. There's Apex models in the game, and they're just going to be the best models at what they do. X-23 is going to be the best attrition three-pointer. Black Hat's going to be the best, extract stealing three-pointer. It's just, there's no way around it. That's the game, guys. Like, when it comes to CGR, he's going to be the best 6-point attrition piece. Even if he gets nerfed, he'll probably still be the best 6-point attrition piece. You're just going to have to play around it.
Okay. Next question. What's a current hobby project you have outside of MCP? Jeremy.
Judgment.
Okay. You collected it all and are painting them?
Collected it all, built them, painting them, all of that, yes.
Brandon.
I'm a kind of private person. There's actually 4 projects I have in the works that I can't tell people about. But there is one that I think many people locally know about that I've really been wanting to get back to, and it's my Magneto diorama. I used to do these panels that I used to call them panels, and it's little tiny like 6x12 dioramas of stuff. I did a Black Order one, I did a Web Warriors one. I've been working on a Brotherhood one for a long time, but I've had like a 2-year break from it at this point due to a move and just being busy, and I really want to get back to it. I really want to finish it. It's like a passion project I wanted to finish, but I just never got around to it.
You say move, but there was moves.
I will. It's right there. I will get it. There's 2 moves.
I'm in your court. You really did get so many things that completely upended your ability.
You know what actually screwed me when it came to like painting and hobby time and stuff? D&D. That's what's killed me. Because anytime I'm like, finally, I don't have anything on my plate. I get 12 hours to do whatever I want. And it's like, oh shit, I have D&D in 3 days. I have to write a whole module for you guys. And it's like, so that's actually what kills me. And then we actually do D&D, and that's another 12 hours. And it's just all the time goes away. Because I want to make sure stuff's good for other people. But
okay.
It is good. I love the game.
Parker.
I'm glad you like it.
Do you have a current hobby project outside of MCP?
Yeah, I'm still, this is just a really cute answer, which is my daughter still loves Pokemon trading card game. And so I'm just keeping up with what's going on in that game and building fun decks and playing her. Just the other day, we had a daddy-daughter date where we just played 3 games of Pokemon TCG and we had a blast. She completely destroyed me once, and she's very satisfied now. It is the game is not competitive, but it is really fun to play with your kids, and so that's my other hobby project is
you like roll
keeping
Pokeballs?
No, but she does. But she actually, I'm actually, to her credit, I gave her like a semi-competitive, like, not a trash tier deck.
Yeah.
Like we curated it, and she runs it really well. And now there's like a level 2. It's a little bit harder, a little more complicated, a little more combo-y, and so she's learning how to play that one, and she's really enjoyed getting better at the game, and she wants to do more. And Stranger, her new thing is a toolbox deck. She wants to get. For those of you who don't know her TCGs, a toolbox deck is when you purposely put a wide variety of meta counters in your deck. Answers. And so it's all about knowing what your opponent's doing and then picking the answers out and searching them in your deck. And so she's really excited because she feels like she wants to graduate to this. But that means she's got to not only play her own deck, but look at her opponents.
Know all the other things.
And so, but watching her learn like the concept of meta and the concept of counter and the concept of tempo and all these things, that's my little project right now, is helping her explore some of these things and learn some of these things while we're playing.
Cool.
Okay, and mine, so I play right now 3 different games: MCP, Blood Bowl, and Judgment. I had a little Blood Bowl painting backlog I finished today. I just got done painting a full custom 3D terrain set for Judgment. Now I can start working on the models.
Nice.
Yep.
Is that 28 teams complete for Blood Bowl?
20 that I actually have painted.
Painted.
I have them all painted, but I think one of them like steals from another. So I think I have 28 completed. But you bring up a good point. 4 days ago,
well, not individually, but not like I have to have all of them down on the table at the same time. But you have, like, if you have one troll, that's enough trolls.
Oh, I own every model in Blood Bowl.
Yeah. So how many teams are there now?
29.
29. So 29 fully painted teams.
Yep. And I just played my tournament on Saturday, where I played my 29th team in an officially sanctioned tournament, which is kind of a big deal. So,
and for people at home that don't understand what Blood Bowl is, it's the big thing is there's the lifetime goal of play every faction at basically a qualifier level event. And so you've now played every legal team at a qualifying event.
Yep. So now I can actually play whatever I want my next tournament. I have no clue what that's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last one? I'm just curious.
Chaos Renegades.
Vampires? Renegades.
Really?
Fuck big guys. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hate them.
That's a real bonehead move, if you ask me.
Okay. Next question, Jeremy.
Yep.
Why did Captain Nemo get coal for Christmas?
Nope.
Close.
Don't know.
He was on the Nautilus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You got it right.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay. I'm just making sure you didn't laugh. So
I know what Captain Nemo is. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I read Jules Verne.
The fourth question from this person
It's
here.
on the not E list.
You got
okay.
it.
Make sure.
You get to create a new event type for MCP. What type of event that doesn't currently exist in MCP would complement existing events well? Doesn't necessarily have to be a tournament setting.
So by doesn't exist, are we assuming that nobody's ever done it, or it's just not mainstream?
For our listeners' edification, let's do not mainstream.
Fantasy football style draft, 100%.
Could you please explain in 30
Yeah,
seconds or less?
so the fantasy football style draft is basically each person is given an amount of fictitious money. So in the easiest way to do is $100.
Mm-hmm.
And so some fantasy football drafts, if you're not familiar, you'll have a bidding system. So let's say we have 8 people playing in the draft. Each person, when it gets their turn, they nominate a player in football. And then you take turn, you draft that player. You basically bid auction style to win that player. So let's say if we were doing an MCP draft, let's say, all right, I want to play Thanos. So as my turn, I nominate Thanos to go onto the auction block. We would go around the table bidding, just like eBay. It's like I bid $5, I bid $10, all the way around. Person who wins spends that much out of their fictitious money to buy that model onto their roster. And you keep going until every player has 10 characters. And so you don't have to win the person you nominate, and you only have to spend money if you win. So you can also bid against people. Like if Aaron's about to get X23 for $1, I'm going to bid money just to make him pay more. But if I end up winning it, now I have to spend that money. So you cultivate a roster that you've had a little bit of plans beforehand, but if your plans overlap other people's plans, then you get into bidding wars. It's really interesting, and you can play like either a 3-round tournament afterwards, or you can play like a several-week league. There's a lot of things you can do with it. We've done it a couple times. It's super fun. And who is it that just started one? I want to say one of the people in our Discord just started one. They were asking about it. Was it Bob? Mo. That's right. Mo Val. Yeah. Long-time listener, Mo. Yeah, he just started one. It's super fun. I hope he has a great time.
So why have we not done a draft tournament at our shop since I've been playing Marvel?
Should we tell him? We have. We just didn't invite you.
Ouch. Question retracted.
I mean, you're the one that made this a public question.
Parker, what event type would you create?
I love the comic books, right? I'm a huge fan of the comics. And there's one character passive superpower that I think is underutilized heavily, and I would love to see an event where it's like just given to characters, and that's Arch Nemesis. I would love to see, like, I don't know if you
like a Dozier-esque card where it's like someone gets a token and they become a nemesis.
Yeah, something like that. I think it'd be really fun to run an event where specifically characters are arch nemesis for other characters, and you have to follow the rules where you have to attack them within 3, but you reroll dice. Like, just take that rule out of the game and just put it on more characters. Maybe you have to have an arch nemesis from between you and your opponent, or maybe you create a list at the beginning where it says you could only pick these leader models because they have an arch nemesis, and the other side has these leader models for the arch nemesis. You have to pick Captain America on one side and Red Skull on the other, right? So, like, you have to do that. So you're actually doing canon arch nemesis on the board. I think that would be super fun to play an arch nemesis set. Also, that's just a fun game rule it both controls your opponent but also gives you a dice advantage. So I think it's a fun rule that you never actually see pop up on the board. Yeah. And I would love to see a totally flavorful tournament with that little sprinkled in. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, Arch Nemesis is definitely underutilized, I would say.
Yeah. I would do one of two things. One, I think it would be interesting to be able to customize a model. And by that I mean get a blank stat card and you start filling in like all of the stats. Obviously, quote unquote fair and balanced with respect to if you want to add the superpower, it costs like say like 100 points. Like you get 100 points to build your character. Like each point of defense costs 1 or 2 or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And you have maximums that you could get to. So you can't build like a 20 physical defense character, whatever the case may be. Be able to custom design your own character at whatever threat parameters is balanced. And then play a game with that as your affiliation leader or something to that effect.
For anyone familiar with War Machine, it'd basically be like a caster draft, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second part...
That could be fun.
Stealing from War Machine would be who's the boss. You just mix and match your affiliation leaders with the affiliation you want to bring.
That already exists. It's called the What If draft.
Yeah.
It was run at Adepticon several times.
Yep.
It's very fun. Surprise, Thanos and Kingpin were the first 2 models taken.
I'm surprised. Jeremy, do you have any event idea?
I would be for the fantasy draft thing. That would be great. We did that, like I say, we did that once, and it wasn't a tournament, but it would actually work in the tournament format really well. Just get it done with.
Just show up like an hour or 2 early, do like the 2-hour draft, and just play 3 rounds.
Well, then I'm straight out. If I have to show up an hour early for anything.
Jesus fucking Christ. All right.
Okay.
All right, we won't invite you this time instead of Aaron. Okay. Aaron likes having fun. Aaron, let's do it.
I don't know. I didn't get invited to the first one.
I mean, to be fair, this was right after you started playing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't think you were on Discord yet.
It's possible. I am a boomer.
No, Jeremy's a boomer. You're an adapted boomer.
Mm. So these 4 questions, we have what gets you excited about MCP, what's your hobby project, the Nautilus, and new event type for MCP. What grades do we give these questions?
Wait, hold on. The dad joke was actually part of the questions?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
All right, that gets plus 2 points right there. So let's see. I was going to give this a 5. I'm now giving it a 7.
Parker.
I was going to give it a 6, but I am going to give it an 8 because of the Jules Verne dad joke. That's top shelf.
Jeremy.
A 1.
I'd retroactively like to give mine a 10. Mine's a 10 now. Parker, give it a 10. We have to counteract Jeremy's sandbagging.
Nope. Hard stop at 8.
I'm going to give it a 7. I liked it.
All right.
That's from Richard. Thank you, Richard.
Nice. Good job.
Okay, 4 to go. From person F, question 1. What is your most anticipated character to see added to MCP? Brandon.
Dr. Doom. Obviously not even close.
Parker?
It must be a single character?
Yes.
It can't be
No.
Four
No.
characters that are a family?
Okay.
The first family, you might say?
Yeah, you could say a family of 4 of them. Then I'm going to say also Dr. Doom.
Okay. I'm going to say Giganto. And Jeremy.
Who?
Galactus.
Oh, no, hold on. You can't say that and stop. What? Who the fuck is that?
Parker? You want to help?
No, answer your... Yeah, he's Googling it. What the fuck are you
I thought he
talking
was a
about?
DC character.
I'm not Googling
It's a
anything.
DC character.
No.
I'm not Googling
Oh
anything.
shit, it's not. That's funny. I like that.
Don't like that.
No, I like his answer because this is like another tongue-in-cheek way of saying Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
No.
He is in the very first Fantastic Four, the big green thing that comes coming up out of the ground and grabbing them. That is gigantic.
The very first Fantastic Four comic.
Yeah, that's smart. I like that answer.
Jeremy.
I already have all the ones I like, but you know what? Let's just go with the big one. Let's go Galactus.
What? You really want to see Galactus in the game?
I really
Ooh. I want to go back. You said Dr. Doom. I'm going to say Silver Surfer.
Okay, so
I'm
Silver
excited.
would be
Surfer
fun.
would be fine.
I actually think that might come in the same box, and it will be the highest selling box in MCP history.
They can make it $180. People are going to buy it.
Jeremy, question just for you.
Oh God.
Is the robot waiter at your work immune to poison and bleeding?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Question 3. Parker, you get to go last. Since Parker is obviously the star of the podcast, how does the rest of the gang manage to share the limelight? Jeremy, what's your...
Hold on. I was reading when you read that. What did you say?
He had a stroke.
Since Parker is obviously the star of the podcast, how does the rest of the gang manage to share the limelight?
I just want to say, for basically my entire adult life, I've pictured myself as Charlie. And I guess if they're saying Parker is Charlie, I could see it.
Okay.
Because he's like the one not terrible human being among us.
Oh,
But he's also, because of that, he is a terrible human being.
Jeremy, how do you manage to stand on the stage with Parker?
I don't. I just can't.
I
That's
can't.
all that's just some sort of situation I haven't understood. I won't do that.
Yeah, I just bow down before Parker's greatness every cast.
In fact, it's difficult to talk about it. Please don't punish us.
I mean, at risk of piercing the veil, I just want to say that listening to Parker give us instructions before we start recording has been like the worst experience of my entire life.
Hey, Parker, how do you manage to share the limelight with us? What's it like on your end?
It's a giant sacrifice.
My favorite, what I like to do is I like to think of the dumbest thing I could say with the biggest shoe I could possibly fit into my mouth, and I put it directly into my mouth.
You actually consider if you could fit it in your mouth before you look at it?
You're right.
It's just the biggest shoe.
That's giving me too much thought. That's giving me too much consideration.
So what you're saying is your true intellect is so great, you specifically dumb it down to be on our level when we're podcasting.
Oh,
I once saw Parker swallow an entire cowboy boot without even blinking.
I don't dumb it down. I just I feel like the left lobe of my brain just shuts down sometimes because it just like bends down to pick up a penny, and the right lobe just takes over and goes, "Do this and this," and I go,
"What if we were talking while we did it?"
And it just comes out of my mouth, and I'm full of regret. So much regret. It's terrible.
Okay.
No regrets here.
I embarrass myself. in all fairness, every once in a while I leave this podcast and I feel so good about my participation in it.
Every once in a while?
It's rare. Most of the time, I just look at I leave going, oh my god, I made such an ass of myself yet again.
I'm glad you feel the same way.
Last question from person F here. If you had the power to make a single rules or mechanics change to the game to improve it, what would it be?
Ooh.
Core mechanics change, not like a model update?
They said rules/mechanics change.
I'll say it's open then.
Mm-hmm.
I would implement my personal wanted change to the mission selection rules, which is it's similar to an old like pick ban format of another game, but is when the person wins priority for mission selection, you choose which color you want, and then you choose of your opponent of the opposite color which one of their missions to ban, and they choose one of your missions to ban. So let's say we showed up and I banned Parker's senators, and he bans my researcher. Or not, that would be a bad example because they're the same type. Let's say I banned Parker's scoundrels, he could then ban my researcher. Then of the 2 remaining missions we each have, we both pick whichever one we want. So it's kind of like a median ground between getting to pick the missions and then doing totally random. The thing I think it accomplishes is neither player gets to play the mission they want to play. They each get to play their second mission they want to play. So you never get the worst, but you also never get the best. I think it's a perfect middle ground on mission selection.
Cool. Parker, Jeremy?
I can go next. For me, it's been, I want to see the mission. This is not a mission one, and to pick it back to, which is I want to see more missions and a mission rotation. I think there should, I don't know how long you want to leave missions in the game, but I think there should be a bigger pool, and maybe it's, I don't know, it's 4 months or 6 months or a year, but every time they switch them out, they add 2 more missions and rotate a bunch away. And then we get to play with that for a while, then they rotate another one out, add 2 more missions in that are brand new, rotate 4 old ones in or whatever it is. So the idea is you're constantly cycling through missions much more often and asking people to change what they're playing with their mission cards. I don't know how feasible that is, but they've always just been printing them out as PDFs. I've loved how generous they are with that. Mm-hmm. So I think I would love to see faster turnover on missions and types, and I'd love for herbs. I'd love for herbs to just pop back up for 4 months or 6 months or something again. And maybe they.
Hey Parker,
between yes,
that shoe, spit it out.
But
nope.
Every time, one of the things they could do is obviously because they're making new prints or new cards or new PDFs or whatever it is, they could modify it slightly to try to curb some of the worst impulses of gamifiers, maybe. Or maybe they don't, and we just live in that world for 6 months, knowing that eventually it'll go away and it'll be no big deal. So
it's like hemorrhoids.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it turn over. I think it'd be cool.
Okay. My rules change would be that you do not undaze in the cleanup phase. You undaze when you activate.
I regret my choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good choice.
Thank you.
I know we've talked about that a bunch. I just brain farted. That's a really good pick. Good job.
Undaze in the cleanup phase.
Yeah. So the way Shatterpoint does it is when you get dazed, you put the token on the model. You remove the token when you activate. So there is no double tap, like get you off the board with priority. It's basically you get a invulnerability shield when you get dazed, and it doesn't come off until you choose to activate that model.
Got it.
I really like that change. I wish they would update that for MCP.
Jeremy?
I like that change, but I'm along the lines of something a little easier, or more like probably they're going to do it. I would like some new missions. That's it.
Okay.
Wow,
cool.
Really? 2 of us said they wanted new missions. That surprises me. I actually like the missions we have for the most part. I think they need to be cleaned up some, but I don't think we need new missions.
Well,
there was a variety all the time for a bit, and then now we haven't seen anything new in forever.
Right, I think we're at the quantity of missions that they like. And I think the number of missions we have is perfect. Like, maybe not perfect, very good. And so the only thing is, like, I think they need to go through and touch up some older missions, like spider portals need to be touched up, like fixed a bit. Maybe intrusions needs to get fixed a bit. Researcher maybe could get touched again. for the most part, the missions are in a pretty good place. Hey, Jeremy.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that the population of Ireland is really growing?
Oh, is
In
it?
fact, it's Dublin.
Nope.
No?
No cheese rolls for that.
No.
I can
that's
explain it. I can explain it if you don't get it.
No,
I don't
I got
understand
it.
Because you see, it's growing at such a rate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Moving on.
Cool.
That was
Cool.
Person F. We had anticipated character, robot waiter. Parker is the star of nothing, and
Robot
rules
waiter.
mechanic change.
I don't remember the robot waiter one.
That's just Jeremy.
Oh, it's just Jeremy. Okay. We'll give this another 5. Had some strong points, but it could have been better.
Parker?
10 because it gave me a chance to apologize for my,
For all
my
of the
behavior.
shit you said.
Yeah.
I don't hate the question, but I'd give it a 2 just to offset your 10.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh. That's a good call.
Jeremy?
Let's go with a 5. It was okay.
I like the rules change question. That was hot fire. Okay, 3 to go. You're going to have to bear with me for this question, and if it doesn't make sense, we're going to throw it out.
You did not say who that was, by the
Oh,
way.
that was
Did you mean
Chris.
to?
Chris.
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
McFadden?
Yes.
I like Chris.
Okay.
Chris is fun.
Here we go. If the main Marvel Universe designation is Earth 616, and the Ultimate Universe is Earth 1610, and many Marvel games are set in Earth 1048, along with a multitude of other Earth designations, what is MCP's Earth designation?
Oh, I've always assumed it was 616.
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's a collection of them.
Okay. So as the comic book expert among us, what is there a number that is the identifier, or it's just a jumble? They just pick and choose what they want.
Yeah, I think it's for the most part. There are a couple that are sacred, like the ones he mentioned, the Ultimate Universe and the
That's like hard in stone. You can't fuck with it.
right, because the writers have said
It's like
you can't.
original Star Wars versus expanded universe.
Yeah,
It's like all that other shit is like in this other mirror universe.
Yes, but they actually go ahead and say, like, most of the time they'll say, like, this universe has these conditions, this universe has these conditions.
Okay.
The one that we think of when we think of Marvel Universe is 616. But they've actually gone ahead and in some of their content, they've actually said, like, which one the Tom Holland Spider-Man is. Like, we know the number for that. Like, that actually has a number in that's all canon. So, like, each one of them is...
But the Tom Holland Spider-Man one isn't necessarily the one that the MCU happens in.
No.
It's just where Tom Holland is.
Right, and the MCU one is also not 616.
Yeah.
It is a different number than they have.
And so it's just like a mythological number universe that happens to have all of these different storylines overlap in the same one.
Yeah, it's basically, it's just it's a serial number for your dimension, basically. And if this question is getting into just like what would you give it a number, I will say my very first number that I wanted to give was 5,808. And the reason why is if you put that in a calculator and turn it upside down, it says boobs. And that was 100%
We're going to go back to his previous answer where he said he apologizes for everything he said on the podcast and move on.
He's doing it again.
Okay, so
Someone stop
Parker
him.
plays on Earth boobs.
Yeah.
Next, second question. Do you ever feel bad for a player who gets tilted or salty because your dice ran hot, or because you chose to run an OP model and they did not?
I will say I legitimately feel bad when we are playing what was a good game and the dice just hard take control of it. And I don't feel bad for them because they're upset. I don't feel bad for them because they're losing. I feel bad for them because I feel upset in that moment as well, because we were robbed of the opportunity of what was in front of us, which was the potential for a great game. And I've had that happen a few times. It's pretty rare. Usually when dice take over a game, it's one-sided either way, and then the dice just decide who wins. But sometimes you're playing a truly great game, back and forth, and it's super good, back and forth clean, and then all of a sudden, the dice just go 95% one direction. And what had been an amazing display of experience and skill for the last hour and a half turns into Yahtzee Fest. And that is unfortunate, because it feels like that great product you put on the table was just ripped away from you for no reason whatsoever. And that's when I feel bad. It's just like, I know my opponent was in this game, and then all their decisions were invalidated out of nowhere.
Parker?
I was listening to Brandon. I was being really thoughtful with his answer. But what was the question again?
Do you feel bad for a player who gets tilted or salty because your dice ran hot, or because you chose to run an OP model and they did not?
Do I feel bad for when they get tilted or salty?
Do you feel bad for them after they get tilted or salty?
Oh, sure. Because for me specifically, I have Parker dice. It's a wonderful affliction. And, I would love to just, immediately help them, just soothe it, right? Just make that negative playing experience go away for them and tell them, that help them understand in that moment of their, greatest frustration, how odds work and how, they'll roll 1,000 dice and sometimes it'll go up and sometimes it'll go down, but it all normalizes over, hundreds of games. But that all goes out the window as soon as you become, irrational and you lose the ability to become okay, which I think is what your question is, right? The player is absolutely losing the ability to be okay. So I feel, I would love to be able to just come, give him a big hug and tell him it'll be okay. But sure. I am actually I'm all thumbs when it comes to that kind of moment, because I think in my personal experience, it's always just been, I need to let this ride for a second. I need to feel this feeling for a second, and I will get over it. Like, I trust that. So I'm going to trust them to do the same. Usually what I go for.
From a first-hand perspective, I'd like to give some insight into how Parker reacts when you get dice salty. He kind of just shrugs and goes, "Oops, sorry," and then I get more upset.
To be fair, the way I handle it is Brandon's antithesis, and I feel really bad when I play against Brandon, because I know the way that I handle it is like his least favorite way for somebody to handle it. And I have purposely been in the middle of the situation going, okay, don't do the thing you always do. Don't do the thing you always do. Don't act different. He hates it when you act like you.
Well, I hate it because he's acting, and it's so obvious to me that Parker is acting because I know him so well. Mm-hmm. And I don't like it when he acts like he's apologetic. I don't want him to act like he's apologetic. I just want him to either ignore it or actually be apologetic.
You doubt my sincerity. That's interesting.
Jeremy, how about you?
I must be doing something to make you doubt it.
I don't. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. So you don't feel bad? You just deal with it, sucker?
I've been beaten so many times by so many different things. Fucking eat it. I don't care. Like, I'll sit there and watch, and I go, "Are you done? Do you just want to quit?"
Yeah, I was actually going to say that exact phrase.
Yeah.
Jeremy's answer to his opponent gets super salty is he just looks across the table, he puts up his palms and goes, "Are you done?" And it's like, are you done playing or do you want to continue? Yeah. And then he puts it in their corner to say, "I would like to keep playing." And then honestly, most people, when you present it to them like that, they actually take a second and go, "Yeah, I want to keep playing." And then they actually get over it much faster.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a good way to deal with it, because it kind of forces them to confront the way they're acting and look at themselves and go, "Yeah, I'm probably being irrational," or "No, I am actually this upset. I would like to stop because I don't want to act this way." And so it actually is pretty good either way. Yeah, props for Jeremy for just calling people on their shit.
Well,
I can't do that.
If there's anything that I've always been able to do in every board game is call people on their shit.
Dealt with enough drunk employees to know what to say.
Yeah, I'm over it. Whatever. I'm so you're going to quit? You're going to quit the job? You're leaving right now. Go ahead.
He's like, "All right, I need your badge if you're leaving." And they're like, "Well, I mean, I wasn't 100% for sure yet." And I was like, "Okay, well, then I need you to get back to work."
It's like, whatever, man.
It is true though. When you're acting, when you're not okay, right? When your ability when your ability to reason becomes overwhelmed by your lizard brain because of the threat you're feeling. Asking somebody a really clear question is a yes or no kind of question.
Yeah, it cuts through it.
Yeah, it forces them to come back to that moment. I've told the story a million times, and I'll say it again. One time when Jeremy and I were playing, I was in one of those kind of wishy-washy moments. So early on, we're playing War Machine, and he goes, "No, you did this. You have to stick to it now." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's very black and white." Okay, and like, that was it. And you just cut right through the bullshit, right through the irrationality, the possibilities,
the emotion. It cuts through the emotion, gets back to logic. You're like, okay, like, this is. I understand that I made a decision and I need to live with it, and then I'll learn better from the mistake, having the repercussions.
Yeah, this is the game we're going to play. I should. The funny thing. Jeremy, the language you're using is the language I use with my students all the time, but I never use that kind of language with adults, and it's. But I probably should, because I'm doing it with my students for the same reason you do it with adults. You're asking them for a really clear question. You're like, emotion is not part of this right now. Can you just consider this question? And then they'll answer it, and you'll be able to move from there.
This is like the most therapist thing I'm ever going to say, but did you guys ever realize you both just deal with children?
It's true.
Jeremy, did you realize that?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Someone has to be the adult in the room.
Children.
I get paid.
Like, he just teaches them how to cook, and you teach them how to do science.
But it is true that Jeremy does have to confront the people in his life that don't have skills for life, right? Yeah. But they're just adults, and so he's very used to that. And I'm not used to that with adults. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am apparently the child in the room, because I actually strongly dislike not when people get salty, but people who get salty or tilted.
Ooh, Aaron hates me.
So I dislike them in the moment. How about that? I want nothing. I don't care if I win or lose a game of Marvel in general. I could not care until you get salty. Then I want nothing more than to grind your face into the salt until it is permanently etched into your cheeks.
Interesting.
I don't know why. So when people get salty, God, that pisses me off. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking game. You are ruining the experience for probably me and maybe other people who are hearing you get salty, and you are making an awkward social situation. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I think in my head. And I exhibit that by trying to then just beat them into the ground.
Yeah.
Is that right? That might not be right, but...
You definitely try and lighten the mood as much as you can, like, to get them out of the mindset they're in. I don't think that's actually true. I think you actually make an effort to help them get out of the mindset. So maybe you're just referring to the point when they're at the point of no return. And
yeah,
like,
it depends how tilted they get.
I'll say I like to think that, or at least my perspective of when I get salty, because I know I've been getting salty a lot more lately than I used to, is I more am upset that I've lost the opportunity to play an actual game. Like, I don't actually mind losing at all, I don't think. It's just that, like, when I actually get 2 hours to myself to play a game at the store, and then we play a game and it's like, it just feels so one-sided that I didn't even get to play the game. That's what I get mad at. So,
quick tangent then. Why don't more people just re-rack sooner?
We probably should, honestly.
Right?
Especially in Marvel.
Once the game gets to like an 85-15 or 90-10, just be like, you know what? There's a theoretical chance I could pull this out, but let's just re-rack, and I'd have a more fun time resetting the game.
You know what I actually think it is? Because the game is so swingy, there's always that thought it might swing back, that you don't want to scoop it, and then it just grinds you more, and it's like, oh, you fucking piece of shit, you game.
I was gonna say, Brandon, you are. I don't think I have ever been in a situation with you when you were excited to re-rack or finish the game early and put it back on. Yeah. You love to go down to quarter 4, final minute. That's what you want to see.
Well, in War Machine, it was important because there was a totally different way you played the game at the end of the game than you did in the middle. And if you just constantly scoop, you never get that experience. I think Marvel's kind of similar. When there's only 2 models on the board for each side, you play the game very differently than you would if it was still a normal game. And so I think it is important to have that experience. But once you have it, when you're in the mindset where you're no longer invested, you need to scoop and just start over. And that might help teach you to stay in the right mindset, but it also could teach you to bail on games. And so you have to be very careful with that and understand in the moment and actually take a second, get back in a good headspace and look at the board and go, am I going to learn anything from this? Yes or no? Let's actually call it.
Okay. Last question from person G. Jeremy, what does the gingerbread man put on his bed?
Did you ask me something?
I did.
He can repeat it if you want.
Cat shit, so the dog can eat it.
Yeah. Or cookie sheets.
Cookie
Oh,
sheets.
that one's kind of cute.
Okay, so
No,
from
he's not gonna
Person
like
G here,
mine.
so we only have 5 more questions left. But Person G, we have Marvel designation and salty/tilted discussion, and Gingerbread Man.
Not a huge fan of the first question. It's a fun throwaway, but it's fine. I really like the second question. I think people need to talk about it more. So I'm going to give this a 7.
Okay, Parker.
That second question was really good for me. Actually, this is because it's one of the things I struggle with the most, specifically with playing you, Brandon, because I like to play you, but it's hard whenever the game devolves, like you mentioned. So I'm going to give this one an 8 because there was also a question for Jeremy.
Man, it'd be really hard to have to plan on your opponents getting dice salty every game because you just dice the shit out of them. It must be really hard.
It is.
It's a burden that you carry well.
It's very difficult.
Jeremy?
I would love to give them a better rating, but I'm not. We will go with a
0
4 because I'm angry, but that second question was pretty good.
Okay. I have good news, Jeremy. The next 2 people do not have a dad joke for you.
Well, I actually have a friend who has a dad joke for me.
Jeremy has suffered enough.
My friend actually recently fell into a septic tank, and right now he's deep in shit.
That wasn't even...
No?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't like that one?
That was from Ryan J. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan. Saw Ryan the other day.
Okay. The first question for Person H here is a stocking stuffer. People often get men razors in their stockings. They wonder if you are a 3, 4, or 5 razor shaver. Brandon.
I don't actually shave anymore. I just use a good trimmer on a regular basis. But when I'm going to say 1.
Okay. Parker, do you prefer 3 blades, 4 blades, or 5 blades?
Last time I shaved, I think, was 2003.
Do you naturally look like a 14-year-old?
Yeah, this grows in like this, actually.
Joe Dirt of haircuts.
But no, I do beard trimmers. I do the same thing you do. I use beard trimmers, and I just take the guards off. That's how I get close enough. But so I think the last time I did shave, it was a 3. But obviously, I hated that because I haven't gone back to it. I've just been beard trimmer for
Parker, you give 100 words on how many blades.
So you think your answer is 3 blades? Is that correct?
When I learned to shave when I was 18, yes, and I think that was the last time I did it.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, like I think
you haven't shaved since you were 18.
Yeah, I've just used beard trimmer since then. Yeah.
Jeremy?
How am I the more mature person in the room?
Probably a 5.
I'm also a 5. Okay.
I know you guys don't care, but the science actually supports you not using multiple blades. Multiple blades are actually a gimmick made up by the razor companies.
There you go.
You actually should be using as few blades as possible. The razor irritation is actually caused by multiple blades.
I can tell you something I'm irritated with.
Me?
Judging me and my blades.
I don't judge you. I judge your judgment.
Question 2. If Jeremy's robot had a threat value, what would it be?
Ooh. Hold on. It'd definitely be a threat 4 because it's the most frustrating threat level. Because it's either way too good or way too bad. And it's definitely way too bad.
Parker.
I give it an 8 because it's the same as Thanos and has defeated him that many times.
I would
perfectly balanced.
Threat X because it's a grunt because it's that frustrating.
That's 0. Okay.
I like a threat 1 because it's fucking useless and trash, and you don't like it.
Okay.
Well, I like the threat 4 because you're overpaying for something that does nothing, but you feel the impact of it.
I am a fan of the 8 threat. That's pretty cute.
The 8 threat's pretty cute.
Thank you.
I like that one.
Okay. Last question. If Wild's Countess 2 was a superpower, what unreleased model would have it?
Wild's Countess 2. I was saying that shit so often at the store. Let's see. Wild's Countess 2 for an unreleased model. Obviously, we're not going to take the out of calling it a duplicate model that currently exists. So we're not going to say Wolverine 3.
You can if you'd like to.
No, we're not going to do that. We're too highbrow for that. So I'm going to say Wolverine 4. Let's see. Lady Deathstrike. Wild's Countess 2.
Wild's Countess 2, Lady Deathstrike. That's a good one.
Yeah, because all of Wolverine's villains are Wolverine.
Yeah. But I have adamantium nails.
Wild Guys 2.
Parker's count. Any wilds count as 2. I'm gonna say Human Torch.
The Human Torch is in the game.
Oh, but he said unreleased model.
Yeah, he's in the game.
No, not the one he's thinking
the original.
You mean
Human
Johnny
Torch.
Storm?
I mean Johnny Storm.
Oh, okay.
I mean Johnny Storm.
Weird. You should choose unreleased models.
Jeremy?
Mine will be the energy attack by Shocker. We'll have Wild Scanners 2.
And Shock.
And Shock, yes.
Wild Shock and Count as 2. And he'll have an ability to turn any die to a shock.
My answer will be a Mystic Attack from Agatha Harkness.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, so that was person H, robot, threat value, and wilds count as 2.
Shout out to my wilds count as 2 callback, but I'm going to give this a 6.
Parker.
I'm gonna give this a 7. I like this one.
We're giving it a 5. Jeremy.
3.
He does not like wilds counting as 2.
And last, our last group of questions, person I. We're going to start off light and get heavier. Number 1, if you had to draft a holiday meal, what's your top pick?
Ooh, any holiday?
That's the question.
And we're filling out the whole meal?
No, top pick. What goes off the board first?
Oh, singular item?
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes.
Damn it. That's
mine
too.
Fucked.
That's mine too, and I'm not changing
mashed potatoes.
Oh,
mashed potatoes.
Parker?
I could eat mashed potatoes every meal of every day.
Specifically only my grandmother's dressing.
Like cornbread dressing?
Yeah. Because I have every dressing I've ever had in my life is absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Except hers is amazing.
You know how many times a year I eat dressing of any kind? Twice.
Yeah.
You know which days those are?
Exactly, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, and you know what I look forward to?
That.
Dressing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. It's a fucking meal we eat 2 days a year.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what's your topic?
Let's go with cheesy corn casserole.
Ooh.
That's a good pick. That's probably top 3
pick.
for me.
That's a solid pick.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I do like cheesy porn. Okay.
We fucking locked eyes. We both just
double take as hard as we could.
both just Jim Pan to each other like, what the fuck?
Question 2. Why is there so much hate for pay-to-flip secures?
Because they're fucking dog shit. Oh, sorry. Was I first?
Okay, you not only answered the question, you asked it too.
Because they're dog shit.
In the game where we complain that the dice are too random, you know what we should introduce?
More dice.
More chaos.
To the victory condition for the game, right? Which is you can lose your models to dice, but then you get a backside, right? But it feels so terrible when you're like, okay, I'm about to score 3, and you're like, nope, you're only scoring 1 because I just walk these 2 models around.
Yeah. Just play... Okay, how about this? If you like pay-to-flips, if you're a person that plays this game that truly likes pay-to-flips, not just abuses them with things in the game that abuses them mechanic-wise, like X-Men First Class, high defense models with multiple power like Asgard,
Red
stuff
Skull
like that.
2.
Play 20 games in a row with spider portals, and then shut the fuck up. They are a terrible mechanic. Nobody needs to play them.
Okay, you guys are not answering the question, but you're definitely piling on.
Wait, what? What was the question?
Why is there so much hate for pay-to-flips?
Because they're dog shit.
Okay.
What the fuck are we talking about here?
I think, and I was maybe I got close to the bullseye and I missed it, but I will say that
you did. You were talking about actions, and I was giving Brandon some shit.
Okay.
I'll put it in some more highbrow terms, since apparently that's where our cast is heading.
Nothing's better than making all the correct decisions and losing. That's the best thing about this game.
People want their actions to be deterministic. And what that means is they want to be able to move from A to B and know that they're going to get there. We have a movement tool that says, I can get there. It's not like a fucking, 40k third ed charge where you roll a die to see if you make it. Right? So a movement is deterministic in the game. Attacks are not. For the most part, knowing how many points you're going to score is deterministic. Right? I can determine how many points I'm going to score by taking these specific actions. And this takes that core mechanic of the game and just throws it out the window, which goes back to what Parker was saying. People want their decisions to have a meaning, and pay-to-flips take that away. What I will say, though, is that I think pay-to-flips have a place in that a secure that drains your power is interesting. So what if it was just you can control it by paying a power, right? I think that has a place in the game, but they needed a way to differentiate having 4 of those in the game instead of just different layouts. And so they came up with the roll against a certain number. And it's possible that the answer is 0 and you don't get it at all. So I think people have issues with it, but I'm not sure what the best way to fix it without ditching it completely is.
I think the concept of pay-to-flips is fine as adding an extra element of chaos to a game. With the way mission selection currently is, I don't think pay-to-flips are in a good place. But that's only because you don't have the option to back out of that plan because you get no control over which of your missions are selected, right? So you're generally speaking either going all in on pay-to-flips, all out on pay-to-flips, or you're just taking just pure randomness at that point. You're doing some pay-to-flips, some not pay-to-flips. I think sword base is actually fine because, like you said, it takes the RNG out of it. You're actually making a decision to move to a place. And you know it's like exactly a 50-50 shot if it's contested, and it's a 100% shot if it's not. I think if all pay-to-flips went to that, it'd be a little bit better. The problem is really like, it's when it goes awry, and you get streaky rolls, and like one person just fails 4 out of 5, and they lose the game. Because turns out when you miss 2 control points that you should have had, and your opponent gets those points, a 4-point victory point swing in a game is unrecoverable when you're already playing a tight game. And so it's just too much.
I would say there's another level here that I don't appreciate, which is, and maybe I'm wrong, and somebody can argue with me, but I keep going back to, I love that the game resembles a comic book, right? It's characters trying to complete a mission. It seems really weird that, Captain America, with his strategic brilliance and his incredible stamina, would walk up to something and not be able to turn it on, or just go. That seems like a really weird thing. Like he'd have to like Wolverine has to get there, and he's the best there is at what he does, and he flips a coin and he goes, well, Tails, I guess I don't get to.
What if you could try multiple times? What if pay-to-flip specifically you can interact multiple times with? So it's like, hey, I've got 5 power. I've saved my power for the specific reason that I can walk up to this Mutant Madman console and just try 4 times. It's like, I'd be okay with that. Because generally speaking, like the whole concept of I go, you go, so last activation on each point is super valuable because I'm going to flip the lever back to me. I'm fine with that. And it being 100% success rate is too much. But the fact that it's basically a coin flip half the time, it's just too random. And in the game that's already very random, it's just too much.
I don't even mind that they make me roll a dice when I interact for a negative result. Like, you get a skull, you get a damage. Something.
That's I'm totally fine. Roll the dice and you take damage equal to skulls rolled or whatever. Like, sure. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but it's as soon as you don't get it, that feels terrible.
I like anyone who's ever had a model fail like 3 straight pay-to-flips and you just lose a 6-point victory point swing. It's just the worst feeling in the world. Because you made all the right decisions. Even if you had multiple people lined up to flip the same point, it doesn't matter when you fail the roll. It's like it's just so unfun. It ruins games.
Okay, Jeremy, do you have any opinions?
I don't know. I've heard a lot of drama. I'm kind of over it. They're not my favorite, but I think they're okay 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Sure, I agree with that.
Madman is fine. Meteors is okay. Like, I don't have a problem playing Meteors. I don't have a problem playing Madman. It's specifically Spider Portals is the fucking worst. Sword Base is just weird. If the push was on the other side, I'd like it more.
Fair enough.
But because the winner gets to push, it just turns into like a snowball kind of effect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, last question. Is there an optimal strategy for playing the researcher? ? Kicking it straight towards the end zone feels right, but never seems to work out how I want it to. What advice do you give this questioner?
Ooh, I really like this question.
I'll go first because I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
I think old researcher putting it towards their end zone was probably correct because they had to defend it hard or lose. New researcher, and by that I mean where it's only worth 1 point instead of 2 if you can dunk it, is almost always better to bring it back or to the side. I think you should always place the researcher in a position where your opponent will have to take more actions to contest it than you will. That will allow you both more offensive and defensive actions into them and enable an attrition victory, which is usually what researcher comes down to at the end. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I was going to say I think using researcher as a stagger functionally is probably the best way to use researcher, forcing your opponent to, like you said, to spend precious efficiency of action to manage it. And I played researcher one day when I was like, oh, my opponent was playing a lot of control models, and they're not going to be able to fight me on researcher. I'm going to go ahead and drive this back into their dunk spot, and I did, and I dunked it, and it didn't even matter because like you said, it was only scoring 1 point with it, and it just didn't actually help.
You start thinking about it like, was this really worth me spending 6 actions to get to this point?
Right, because I was constantly spending so many of my actions I needed to be killing their controlling models on moving to the point. And unless you're playing a faction or an affiliation that's really mobile and like really efficient, I think you've just got to kind of hold on to it, keep it, make them move to it unless they want to give you 2 points. I think that's the right call. There are some affiliations, though, like Asgard comes to mind, where they have a bunch of chargers and movers, and they have a bunch of guys who go, I don't care where it is, I'll go get it. So there are some affiliations that worry less and can probably drive it in harder.
Yep. Jeremy, any last thoughts?
Pretty much what you guys are saying. I always like to pull it back a little bit and to the side. That way, if something goes awry and they're able to place it twice, they still can't put it on your goal. That's usually what I like to do.
Cool. Okay.
Well, I haven't gone yet.
Well, I didn't care what you had to say, so. Fine.
So, my default go-to is diagonally roughly 45 degrees forward to one direction, depending on which it is. But honestly, I think Researcher and Mayor Fist, which are both the 2 missions that move the objective tokens, are the highest skill cap missions. And the answer is literally whatever your team is good at doing. And so if you're a team that's a bricky team, you don't need to move it forward. Maybe just to reposition it a little bit to make sure that their people aren't standing on it. And moving it directly backwards sometimes is good. I remember the most one-side game I ever played with Researcher was I moved it basically directly backwards. And then the next turn I moved it backwards diagonally. And I just made sure that my opponent could never score it, and I was going to get it for free every turn. But for me, the best part about Researcher is really just that it completely nullifies objective stealers. And so I tend to play it just because I don't want to deal with like Voodoo and Black Cat and Spider-Woman and people like that. So it's really, there is no best place to put it. It's where do you need it? And so you need to play your team to the point where you're comfortable enough with it to know exactly where that is. And so just experiment a little bit, but it's really, the answer should be your goal is to 100% secure it over your opponent. Don't ever let them score it, and you should be scoring it every turn. And as long as that keeps happening, you'll be in a really good spot. So wherever you need to put it to make that happen is where it needs to be.
So to win the game, you should score more than your opponent.
No,
like it.
You should fight over the valuable asset and not give it to them because you just blindly moved it forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we give ratings on Holiday Dish, Pay to Flip, and The Researcher?
This was actually a pretty good one. Because it's mashed potatoes, I'll give it a 9. Mashed potatoes are some fucking delicious shit.
Parker?
I'm going to give it a 7 because talking about Researcher, I don't know if we've ever had that conversation exactly before as much as we talk about Researcher.
Definitely.
I don't think we talked about this.
We had an entire topic about Researcher.
No, I mean, where we all shared our own personal
That's
experience. Fair. I don't think that's ever happened. I liked hearing your guys' thoughts. I learned something, and I always like that. 7.
Jeremy?
Because it included a food question that was legit, we're going to pop this one at about an 8.
Pop it at an 8. Okay. I'm also going to give it an 8. That was very good. That was Johnny. Johnny 5.
Johnny 5?
Yes.
He's alive.
Johnny 5 is alive.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Your mother was a snowblower.
Good questions. And I think that concludes our cast. If you want to wrap us up, Brandon.
You seem to be in a big hurry.
I know Jeremy needs to get up early.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
We still have movies.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be it for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed our Christmas episode. Totally sober. Don't worry about it.
That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the question.
I actually really had fun too. I'm glad you had fun.
We've talked about a question segment for a long time.
The problem's always been getting people to respond to, hey, we need listener questions. And nobody ever responds.
And you know what we needed?
Yeah.
Aaron.
We need Aaron.
Aaron is the best.
Aaron forced him
We needed somebody who doesn't frighten the children. And he's got that gentle face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The children look at him and they go, hi. And he's like, I'm Tex. And he's like, okay. Now then they trust him.
He plays Mission Objective in the other
Mission Objective. Oh my god. All right.
I'm getting in that fucking van.
Yeah.
Get in the van.
I'm getting in that fucking van.
Hey kids, you want a bike? Yeah. Where's this bike? And they climb into the van. They're like, there's no bike in here. It's like, yeah, I left it at my house. It's like, all right, let's go. We gotta get this bike.
Let's get this fucking bike.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a Merry Christmas. This has been Brandon.
This has been Parker.
And Jeremy.
And Aaron.
And you've just listened to The Lightning Round.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.
Parker looked so scared when I started counting. He's like, what do I do? What do I do with my hands? Do I clap? Do I not clap? And I just looked at him. He's like, I guess I don't clap.
I think you should have clapped too.
He should have clapped. I mean,
you need to follow.
How am I going to sync up Parker's audio? He's such a worthless cast member now.
I could be anywhere.
So
he's in the
now Parker's terrible comedic timing actually has an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what I forgot?
What?
Lime juice. I forgot the lime juice out in the garage.
What good is it?
I don't know. It's basically just gin and beer now. It's there's not even it's not a drink anymore.
It's trash.
The lime juice is what made it fucking civilized.
Yeah, just pour that.
Now I'm just drinking to get drunk.
Yeah.
We're at ASMR drink making cocktails. Now I can shake it because it's a built-in shaker.
What we need is bold teeth.
What do you need?
A bowl of teeth.
Bowl teeth.
The bowl of teeth.
Oh yeah. Box of teeth and watches.
Right.
So how was your guys' definitely not busy, hectic week?
Busy and hectic.
Oh, that's unfortunate. This was your week off of that.
Yeah, no, my cook called in sick. Or he came to work and was waiting for me to come in, and he was like, hey, I think I'm going to die. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, I came because I thought, maybe I could wear a mask. I'm like, dude, if you get COVID in this kitchen during Christmas, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So sent him home. He's still sick, so we'll see what happens. He's not.
It's like people don't understand the concept of high-risk environment.
They don't understand the concept of me fucking punching them in the face when they give me COVID for the third fucking time.
But did you die? Are you okay?
Not yet. I don't know why I need to risk it.
That was quite loud.
That was quite loud.
Are you okay?
He's trying to deal with it without.
Is that from my room?
No, it's
right. It sounded like
It's right.
That was loud.
You just knocked the mirror down and it fell on it.
Oh, that was in my room. Is he okay?
I think so. I just can't get your door open.
Okay. Hold on. I'll be right back. random emergency. It's password's lactose intolerant with capital L, capital I. What do you do, buddy? You scared us.
Currently submitting applications to be on a competent podcast. I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Oh, really?
Fuck, Parker? No.
Well, it's really just the dogs, honestly, is what's happening. My dog ruined my basement, and now his dog is ruining his bedroom.
That was so loud.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for what it was. It was basically nothing.
I think all dogs don't want this podcast to happen.
I know, right? It's written on the whiteboard in the kitchen if you just want to go read it. But I can't remember how to spell that fucking thing. Okay, sorry. My dog apparently heard voices and tried to get out of my room and then knocked over my floor mirror.
It's since the call of the wild.
I know, right?
You have a floor mirror? Like, I wouldn't guess that you actually look at yourself before you leave the house.
Well, I didn't buy. I don't. But the funny part is,
with the house?
normally the mirror is behind the door, and there's a bag of dog food in front of it. So I threw. The bag of dog food is now empty, and so there was nothing keeping the mirror standing, and so it just fell over.
I'm like, it's purely decorational. There's no way that has a utility.
I'm a highbrow individual, so I need for people to know that I am of a high wealth and class when they come over. So free garbage floor mirror is the way you do that.
Ergo floor mirror.
Yeah, well, I mean, like a hand-me-down floor mirror. I didn't pay for this.
Wow.
It was just someone was going to throw it away, and I was like, don't ever throw anything away. Give it to me.
And so that's what you thought would make the place highbrow.
It really ties the room together. I'm going to be honest.
It makes it feel so much bigger. This gives the whole
illusion. Actually, I'm curious. I want to know how many pieces of furniture you guys think I've bought in my life.
Ooh, this is a fun game. Now, you got to really be legit here. You're not going to give me a ballpark. You actually
No. I'm going to give you the exact number.
Okay.
That I've paid money in exchange for a piece of furniture.
That means the number must be pretty significantly low, right?
No, it's extremely high. Probably higher than you.
Then how?
I own 28 chairs.
But you're asking how many did you pay for?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 4.
Do you guys have a guess?
My guess is 0.
I don't know. It's trashy. Probably 0.
Probably 004. What do you guys try to? You guys try to give this impression I'm white trash? Like, what's going on here?
I think they're trying to hand me the win. I think they're trying to go so low that Price is Right
rules. You've made claims to being the king of the mountain of whatever.
A value town.
Value town. There you go. That's one way to say it.
Right. I bought this folding chair right behind me for $30 at Target. Still got it. Still working great. I actually used it last week. Then I bought my first computer chair, which is currently in the garage. We use it for D&D. I bought my first computer desk that was destroyed in the move. So that's no longer with us. And then I bought the chair I'm currently sitting in. That's 4. Parker got it exactly right.
What?
He fucking nailed it.
I feel like
every other piece of furniture I own was given to me for free.
I'm pretty sure I bought 4 pieces of furniture this week.
I know, right? No, I was not kidding, though. Like, we actually did a count when I moved in, because Alex could not believe how many chairs I own, because I don't throw away furniture. He's like, there's no way you have this many chairs. I'm like, well, hold on. And we counted, it was 28.
Hold my beer.
Yeah.
Well, if you want like 180 more chairs, the building I used to work at is closing. So
okay, hold on. Are they wheelie chairs?
Dude, who knows? I don't think
there might be office chairs. If there's office chairs, I'm there. Yeah. When?
We'll find out.
Shoot me an address.
On Wednesday, I have to go and loot this place of everything, and I was
like this coming Wednesday. I'll go with you.
I don't know about all that. We'll see.
Why not?
Because it has to go to my work.
No, it's fine. I'll be there.
I don't know about all that.
What if things fall off the back of the...
Jeremy, you have the power to hire me and then fire me at the end of the day. Like, I'll be an official employee of...
He'll be your sous chef.
Villa Ace Ventura or whatever.
Yeah.
You do have a vehicle.
Did you always say you need more employees?
Why do you think I own an Xterra? We can do whatever we want, including steal furniture from a company.
Jesus Christ.
An Xterra? What a strange vehicle to pick.
Dude, it's fucking Xterra.
Like I get that it's a multifunctional car, but that's not what I would pick to like.
It's not the
places.
largest vehicle I've ever owned. It is the second largest vehicle I've ever owned. Do you know the largest? You should remember it.
The
It should
Suburban,
be
right?
seared in the Suburban.
Suburban,
You
yeah.
should be seared in your fucking
Oh
memory.
yeah, I remember with the windows
The
down,
torture
trying to breathe.
chamber.
Uh-huh.
No, that was Jeremy's. The blue one was Jeremy's. I had the gold one.
Oh, I just remember the one that we had.
His didn't have air conditioning. Mine had air
Oh,
conditioning.
I thought that we had. I just remember the one we had to keep in drive. Right?
That was mine.
Okay.
How is it that everyone was there a year that everyone decided to get rid of their Suburbans? Because like everyone I know,
Yeah, they all broke.
yeah, like
in the
everyone I know
same
had
year.
one, and like those are
Mhm.
mega expensive new. Like I don't know.
Oh no! So what happened was from the 1987 until 1995, it was an amazingly well built vehicle, and then they went to Generation 3, and that thing is a giant turd.
Oh really?
And so all of the original Gen 1 and 2s were on the road for 30 years, and then they weren't, because 30 years is apparently a long time for a V8. And then they started crapping out, and then it's just like they felt like dominoes. Now getting one running in good shape is actually pretty hard to find. But yeah, a lot of them go to like 400,000 miles, but it's just a big engine of that many miles on it.
That's crazy. But yeah, like there's you just named two people that had one. I have a couple other friends that had one, and it was all like people who were like 17, 18 years old had them. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, you could. That was like a fourth-hand car. Like there were people who, the fourth owners were still driving. Or they were still running.
You should try this. This has got some kick to it. Extra gingery.
I don't want to.
I didn't drink it.
What?
I didn't drink it. I poured it in here.
You don't want any more of this?
No, I'm going to pour the rest of it in here.
I don't want to drink out of it. I'm
not going to die. Just
Are we
here,
listening
take
to
it.
like a date?
No,
Yeah.
Parker doesn't understand how
Is this date
sharing
night?
drinks works.
I am not well.
Parker thinks he's sick because he's tired.
God damn it. That tasted really good. But the reason I'm over here at all is because my basement it smells like the inside of a bottle of Resolve carpet cleaner.
Uh-huh.
And the reason for that is my dog decided to, I don't know what it imbibed, what bottom
ammonia.
of
Drank 3 gallons of ammonia.
It wasn't anything that could
Mixed
be
with
clean.
gasoline.
It was something clearly organic, like the
Well,
bottom
ammonia
of a barrel.
smells really, really bad.
Whatever it was, it passed through its body and came out as this vitriolic liquid, thick with heady musk.
Mm-hmm.
And she dropped it on my carpet in the middle of the night, and so it completely dried overnight. And so when I went down there the next, this is like
You could have just
last
covered
morning.
it with a towel. And
I
then,
did.
Put baking soda
I
on
did.
it, and then
you're still being exact. You're just
well, the problem is you tried to fix it, and then that was the problem. Is it? I have a carpet cleaner.
I also have a carpet cleaner.
Really?
That was the last thing I did. First, I just tried regular stuff, like pull things out with smelling things like baking soda, a wet towel, just to try to get it wet. I soaked it. Then I cleaned the whole thing twice, through twice, and then I used the carpet cleaner. Because all those other things...
By carpet cleaner, you mean a carpet cleaner or a carpet shampooer?
Basically it's a wet vac.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a wet vac. So it's got a cleaning solution in that pours in and then it pulls it out.
Okay.
So
I'm just making... It just seems odd to me that if you had, a dog had peed on your carpet, the last thing you would have tried was the carpet shampooer. That just seems odd.
To be fair,
okay.
I forgot that I had it.
Okay, there you go. That makes more sense. We're back on track, guys.
Because my wife got it from her company does these whole points thing, for awards and things. You get points, and eventually you can cash in the points to get random junk and prizes. And so she totally forgotten that she had gotten this carpet cleaner 2 years ago, because it was she acquired umpteenth points, and she's like, I guess this thing's mildly useful. We don't have one of these. But it came to our house and immediately went into a stack in the basement. We never even took it out of the package. So while I was on my hands and knees for the third Resolve scrub, it was wet and sopping, and I was like, man, I wish I had a wet vac or something I could use to clean this up. And I went wait a minute, I have this vague memory of while I was looking for old comic books, having to move a box called wet vac, and there it was. So
okay.
So my final solution is we're replacing our floors soon anyway. I am just going to take a razor and I'm just going to slice up the carpet and the underlayment and just take it all up and put put a towel on it and call it good until we actually just replace the floor.
I doubt you need to do all that. What I've actually found, because I don't know how people want to listen to this, but stop me if you guys think we should stop.
I'm over this.
You're over it?
We're over
it.
Do you want to hear the story about my Xterra?
What?
He's interested. You heard him.
What? How do we get from
You're
carpet
cutting
to-
all of this, right?
No, this is all in. Hard in.
Oh, then you two need to stop talking over each other, because on the same mic, you sound like dog shit.
Why? We're not talking over each other. What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I won't tell the really awesome story about my Xterra until later.
Okay.
All I know is everything, every story, except the ones that are written in books about animals and people owning dogs and the horrors that they bring upon them. Man, I am so excited about my life without them. Now,
is your life now free of dogs?
No. They're
okay.
at
I thought
our
you were saying something happened. I was okay.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Gotcha.
She has dogs. I do not have dogs.
Yeah.
And all they do.
I thought you were saying that was over because the dogs are gone. I'm like, oh no, Jeremy.
No, all those dogs do is cause trouble. One of them eats cat shit and then pisses all over the floor. The other one just whines a lot and jumps around and scratches people, like when it jumps on things. I'm just like,
that both of those things sounds like things dogs do.
Yeah, and not
unfortunately,
not just once or twice.
I really don't understand the fixation with cat turds. Like, they will eat. It's like fucking Skittles. Like, they will not put that shit down.
They love it.
We had to lock the door to the fucking cat box because if you like put a cat door on it, the dog would like turn into a jelly and squeeze through the cat door to get to the cat turds to munch them up.
They've
it
ripped
was
doors
so
off
stupid.
the wall and stuff. Like they've tried to make barriers with like cat-sized holes in it, and the dogs will crush themselves through it, break everything they can. You would think,
including their own bones.
Oh yeah, like they rage through it like Hulk to get cat shit. Unbelievable.
I'm okay. So I know a couple of the questions we're going to do today, and I'm looking for my favorite meme of all time. I was going to show Parker because he's seen it before, but I don't know if he remembers it. I don't think I can talk about it though. I think we'll get canceled. Okay. So let's see what happened recently. Aaron's pretty excited for Adepticon. It sounds like
on the fence.
On the fence?
I'm going, but I'm on the fence between whether I'm excited or not.
Okay. I think you just lack the physical energy to be excited anymore. That's not a diss. I'm just saying it seems like an observation I have.
You might be correct. I'm a very unemotional individual.
Aaron is half cold, unfeeling reptile and half cold, unfeeling robot.
It's a hat on a hat.
Speaking of robots, I was told today that the budget got cleared and they're going to be doing all these new things at my work. And the best part is they've decided to not get a second robot.
Please tell me the second robot just turns on the first robot.
Oh.
That would be amazing.
Oh, man. Like, I was like, are you serious? Was that actually up for discussion?
That was on the table and no one told me. I would have burned this building down.
When I go over to look for things at the other building, I will take the robot with me. To be like, I don't know. He went to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron?
Yes?
Do you want to know what the Empirical is from Marvel? I can give you a one-sentence summary.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's save this for Comic Corner. We'll do a bonus Comic Corner.
I think I've already done this as a
10
Comic
seconds.
Corner. That's what I was about to tell him. I think I've already done this as a Comic
go ahead,
Corner.
then.
Did you want to know?
No.
Fucking shut down. He just bitch slapped you into oblivion.
That's fine.
So what I want to know is what the fuck is up with that event.
It looks fun, actually.
Sure, but it's a 4-day event, but only 3 days in the text description. I'm like, what exactly am I getting into?
Oh, I never claimed that they wrote the event well.
Sure, that's my question. If I'm going to buy a ticket and sign up for this, I want to know, is it one game a day? Is it play as many games as you want over a day? Is it a Swiss pairing thing? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Adepticon, you got to buy everything separate, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's important for later.
Wait, is Adepticon tickets open? Did I miss it?
No. Soon. They published the event schedule, I believe.
So we have 4.5 seconds on that day to snatch up the events that we have no idea what the fuck they are.
Yes.
It's kind of like that one year of Elvio, though. Like, if you want to go and you're persistent at checking tickets, like, you can probably get in. Like, it's actually not that hard.
What time do they go? Did they post what day?
I want to say it's like 7 p.m. on like a Friday or
It
Saturday.
is the 7th of January.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I remember it always used to happen when we were driving somewhere. We would always be going to a convention, and that's when tickets would open up, and so we'd have to pull over the car and try and get Adepticon tickets.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, 7th of January, did the same time.
No, last time it was like noonish, I think.
I'm trying to see your list of questions, and I can't get it to pull
Tickets
up on
open
any
at
of my
3 a.m.
devices.
Well,
I think
if you
my plan is just to have Aaron ask us the questions, and then we'll...
Yes, I'll ask them all, and you can respond.
Yeah,
If
we'll
you
just do the ultimate Daily Bugle.
If you're not prepared, it's too late.
Yeah.
My plan to prepare was I got done with all my chores at 7:30 tonight, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to read all the docs. I'm going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I got downstairs, and I was nasally assaulted by my basement, and I went, well, fuck. I guess now I know what I'm doing for the next hour. And after I got done with that, I was like, okay, well, I can't be in this space anymore due to all the ridiculous amount of cleaning solutions. And
Well, I mean, if you just sit in it long enough, you'll acclimate.
the problem is I also have a cold, and so my sinuses were like burning. Like
You'll be fine.
I was actively, my nose was dripping onto the carpet as I was cleaning it. So I was like, that's not going to work.
Put some super glue up your nose.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
Oh, it would have fixed the problem.
Yeah. What a gentle chemical to go into my nostrils.
You know, it was originally designed to be put on human skin. So now who looks like an idiot?
That
So
sounds
Parker,
like my
would you
advice.
say the trick to your health situation is you're always sick and sometimes you're healthy?
It's my secret. I'm always
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. I am the Incredible Hulk. One day I'll just be like the Hulk is currently in the MCU, and I'll just be
you're
pretty
like
sick.
the contagious Hulk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I live like reverse of the way most people live. I think I am healthy for less time than I am sick.
You live
every
your
year.
life one invasive parasite at a time.
Yeah.
Each
It's just
one
like
tries
disease
to
after disease.
cram itself in the room. Oh,
10-second sickness.
I also do myself no favors because I don't get enough sleep. And
I
that's the
mean,
main
you're a
thing.
teacher, so
I
like
think
you're exposed to like the most
Right.
disgusting parasites on the planet.
Right.
Human
I know.
children.
I don't get enough sleep, and I work in a petri dish. Like I set myself up for failure. I could
Yeah.
definitely do things to improve my immune system and
Do your kids still go to childcare?
school. Which
Oh,
is
so
their own
you're
petri
getting it
dish.
from multiple
Yeah.
schools. There
Yeah.
you go. That's really doing it.
Yeah. Oh no, I got this from my daughter. I know exactly what it was. 48 hours after she had it, I got it.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we've shot the shit a decent amount. Do you guys want to get to it, or?
I want to hear these beautiful questions. Did we not get a movie topic?
No,
We did not.
I specifically asked for one, but
Who
whatever.
won?
You.
Hold on. No, I got it. Don't worry.
I would say it certainly was not me.
I came in second.
Ooh, it was actually really close. Wait, is this the old one or is it the new
That's
one?
it.
Oh, it was less close. It's fine though. It was tied if we add all other four together.
Pick one.
All right, so what's a really easy movie category that we can all just do off the top of our heads? We already did Christmas movies. That would have been perfect. Ooh, here you go. Movies you liked as a kid that don't hold up. It's like really bad movies you watched as a child. You're like, this is going to be the next great movie. And then you turned out like no one liked it. And you
Hold on,
rewatched
hold on.
as an adult. You're like, this is garbage.
Oh, okay, so movies we thought were wonderful as
So,
children, but
yeah.
we watch as
I
adults
picked
and
that
we cannot
before, and the counter argument is no one wants to watch these pieces of shit now. Like, we're not
Okay.
giving
That's right.
recommendations.
So you want to do movies that we can suggest
Yeah.
people to watch. So
Right.
bad ones are bad. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
Right.
That's fair.
Westerns. We haven't yet done westerns.
Nobody
Holy.
watches those.
That's
Okay.
even if we did it, it'd get cut in post. It's not.
I
gonna happen.
love
Get
that there
cut.
is a monster genre that we just refuse. I think it's kind of great, actually. It's a wonderful gag that we have
Ooh.
found all these tiny little
I got it.
genres.
Time travel movies.
Okay.
That's fun. That's a fun
Time
one.
travel movies.
I'm down.
Is that good? Everybody, nobody's got anything. Else? The other option is Christopher Walken movies.
No, I
I like time travel. That's a good one.
Time travel. All right, time travel movies. It is.
How do you spell hot tub time machine?
H-O, go
You
fuck
son of a
yourself. Hot Tub
All
Time
right,
Machine,
I don't
Hot
like
Tub
this.
Time
I don't like
Machine
this at
2,
all.
Hot Tub Time Machine, the retabbeting.
My favorite part of Hot Tub Time Machine is when he looks at the camera and goes, Hot Tub Time Machine. Like, I don't... The rest of the movie could be
Some kind
terrible.
of Hot Tub Time Machine. Just dead. He just
that
pulls
was-
a gym.
Yeah. He, like, the fact that movie knew, for at least in that moment, what it was doing. So
Motley Lou.
Yeah.
All right. My plan the whole week was to get super drunk, so don't worry, I'm on my way.
Oh God.
This, you know what I realized? These ginger beers are way smaller than the other ones, so I've just taken like 4 shots already, so we're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I pre-gamed with Everclear though, so it'll be fine. You can't get drunk on clear alcohols. Aaron, are you comfortable with our movie topic?
Does it matter?
Yes.
Aaron just wanted a topic. I don't think he's
Aaron, you complete me. I think I'm getting sick.
I will
You're
complete
not sick,
on
are
you.
you? Oh shit.
Full
Got
release.
Micah Parsons over here. There's a you guys probably haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I'm the only idiot here that watches garbage TV.
Yes, that's correct.
I did
Yeah.
not watch that.
Can confirm.
So anyway, the show is bad in the first season, really good for seasons like 2 and 3, and then mediocre for the rest of its run. However, there's a scene in it where they're using a time machine because it's Marvel, so right, so they gotta have crazy shit going on. So anyway, they get to this point where it's like, all right, so you guys are gonna go into this time machine and jump to the year like 2785, right? And like way the fuck in the future. And they're like, okay, but like the machine only takes 2 people, like it's not big enough for anybody else. It's like, yeah. And they're like, well, we need you though. And it's like, how are we gonna get you to the future? He's like, don't worry, I'm taking the long way. And he just, after they leave, he builds a cryo tube. He's just like, here we go. Like, it's the easy way to build a time machine. It's just build a freezer. It was pretty funny.
Technically correct.
He's like, I'll be there. Don't worry. Just please wake me up because I'm not sure this thing has an unlock feature. It's pretty funny. Aaron's making notes. I'm gonna wing it. Aaron's gonna be jealous of all my sweet picks. Parker, spoiler alert. I'm just choosing Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3.
Hell yeah.
Did you already choose that though?
Do what?
Did you already pick
Did I already
those?
choose Back to the Future?
Mm.
What? Oh god, I might have chosen a poor category if I already had Back to the Future.
Well, since you have to go last with your category, Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 are all going to get picked before it gets to you.
That is not true.
I challenge my
Nobody
fellow
else.
castmates.
I don't have Back to the Future. on
No,
any of mine, so you guys go ahead.
however, somebody chose Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3 already, and it wasn't me. Because we did trilogies, and I chose Lord of the Rings, Matrix, and Aliens.
Only
And
because it was before we
somebody
got to
chose
choose.
Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, and Back to the Future. I think that was Jeremy. If I was guessing.
Yeah, I
Could've
think
been
it was.
Parker. Yeah. Because I think Parker chose Guardians. No, wait, who chose New Star Trek? Was that you?
Yes, me.
Okay. And then Star Wars 4, 5, 6, Die Hard, and Terminator?
That sounds like me.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeremy can't choose Back to the Future.
Wow, I can't believe how many of these I have already picked.
You're like Googling time machine movies?
Yeah, I'm like,
oh my god.
I only have a couple options, so you guys better not pick my options because.
Oh, I'm picking. Oh, wait, which ones can't you pick?
No, don't you dare to pick this chicken shit.
This is so much better. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm already pretty drunk. This is not going great.
Don't worry,
Don't worry, I'll find my Google Doc soon. Here it is. Okay, I got it. I've been looking for it for a while. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yep.
Cool. Alright, here we go. Parker gets to see how the sausage is made. It's very, very fast.
It was ironic. I think it was an ironic name.
I think the more you drink, the more you drone.
Me? That's not
one.
true. I was
One in
very
general.
fast. One in general. What does that mean?
The more one, and then a generic human being.
Are you understanding this? I'm not getting it. No, not making any sense.
I'll explain it to you.
You
tomorrow.
should stop drinking. You're way too drunk to explain things.
I know.
All right, movies. Who goes first? What are we doing? Let's go.
First,
Don't
Jeremy.
do it. I ain't got time for this
First,
horse shit,
Jeremy.
man.
So I don't know if you've noticed, Jeremy, but Sundays are always a little sad. But the day before is a Saturday.
I like that one.
Parker just looked to the right, and he's like, "That's great. I like that one.
Yeah.
Very good."
Yeah. And you totally redeemed yourself.
You guys are really entertaining for each other.
You're just upset that we're such good friends.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be jealous. I'm also friends with you.
Oh.
Aaron should be jealous. Oh my god. I love you guys. This is so fun. Okay.
Let's put Jeremy out of his misery.
Alright, we're gonna see if I can actually manage to do off-the-cuff movie selections and still totally lambaste you guys like normal. We're gonna, by the way, we're gonna go through and we're gonna count the total wins, and we're gonna see some tally marks in my column for once.
You're gonna be.
All right. Well,
Dude, I'm like Germany when it comes to starting wars.
Yeah.
are we?
Parker
started
was
yet?
like, yes! Oh, wait. What did you say?
Let's go.
I'm looking up the order right now. Okay, we got... I can't believe, Parker, you chose Army of Darkness and lost. You got wrecked.
I did.
Alright, so I'm obviously going last because I'm so good. Alright, let's see. We got fewest votes. Oh, by the way, Jeremy, did you notice that the totally made up answers I gave for you were better than the answers?
Yeah, I know. It's because
That was amazing.
people are
The
ignorant.
robots
fucks.
scored
They
better
don't
than
understand
People
what's
are.
going on.
I genuinely agree that the general public is ignorant fucks. However, our people have good taste in movies this week. But the weeks I lose, they have terrible taste. Okay. So who had... Alright, so Parker had Army of Darkness, so Parker is going to go second to last. And Jeremy, good news. Oh, wait. Yeah, Jeremy, good news. You get to go first.
Nice.
Okay. So this week we are doing time travel movies.
Are we ready for my first pick?
Waiting on you.
Okay. Butterfly Effect.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think about that movie often.
I mean, I say that, I've literally never seen it.
Oh my god. It's so good.
I love Jim... that's a Jim Carrey one, isn't
No,
it?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher. Okay. I confuse the number 23 and Butterfly Effect sometimes. Because I think they came out the same summer. But I very much like both the number 23 and have never seen Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's referenced a lot, so I know the vague
It's good.
concept. All right. Next up, we've got Aaron.
Yeah, it's Back to the Future.
Which one?
The first one.
Wow, he looked at you with derision.
He did look derisive.
You caught that on webcam, huh?
I did. I was eagle eye. Is it my turn?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Looper.
Ooh, Looper's an
Love
interesting
me
one.
some Looper.
I went and saw Looper in the theater. I was disappointed. I expected a different movie.
Uh-huh.
But in hindsight, it was a good
Right.
movie.
If
It
you went
just
in there
wasn't what I expected.
Right, it's unsuspected for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm really worried one of you guys are going to steal my number one pick, but I have to go with... Oh, wait, no, I get two. Never mind. Winning this week again.
Yeah.
Hot Tub Time Machine. And the secret hidden gem that nobody was going to name, the Time Machine. You guys have not seen the Time Machine?
Oh, I've seen the Time Machine.
It's very good.
Is it my turn?
Yep. Parker gets a pick.
Edge of Tomorrow.
It's a good one.
That's not a time travel movie.
Yes, he is.
It's not, though.
Edge. Yeah. Tom
No,
Cruise.
he just relives the same day over and over. That's not time travel.
Yes,
Is it?
it literally. Yeah. It
Do
literally,
we want to count that as time travel?
Yes.
No.
Is
it-
Groundhog's Day
it
time
is.
travel?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never considered them a time travel. All
Well,
right.
Edge of Tomorrow specifically is like they travel back, like their consciousness goes back in time, like that. They say that.
Oh, I'm fine with it. I'm just saying, I never considered that a time travel effect. I always assumed that was just a loop effect. All right, that's fine. Aaron, you're up.
Star Trek 4 Voyage Home.
God damn you, son of a bitch! I thought about it. I was like, I bet he knows this one.
With the Xeno movie released in the 70s? Yes.
No, I should.
Because you merely adopted the 70s. He was born in it, molded by it.
Star Trek 4 was the first movie in the Star Trek series I ever saw, and I loved it. So
you know which movie was the first Star Trek movie I ever saw?
What's that?
First Contact. Which also is a time travel movie. Get fucked!
It is.
All right.
They're all. I think they all use it.
They're all time travel movies, turns out. Jeremy, your final 2 picks, sir.
Endgame and Deadpool 2.
Ooh. All right. Jeremy, you're really trying to win this week, aren't you?
I think I got it.
You think you got it? I feel like you're overreaching for audience appeal on these.
No.
I think people are going to realize that you're just shallow picks that have no soul.
And you picking The Time Machine?
No, legitimately, Time Machine is my favorite time travel movie.
With Guy
It's such
Pearce?
a perfect... Yeah, it's such a perfect movie. Have you never seen it?
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's so good. It is the perfect example of a sci-fi movie. You should really watch it. It's
the
really
last
good.
time I was told sci-fi stuff from you, I don't think so.
It was perfect and on point. I agree. All right, next up we've got Aaron's final pick.
Oh, 2 of mine are already taken by Fuckstick over there.
Ooh, is that me?
No, God no.
Okay.
I don't watch the drivel you recommend.
The trash.
I know I would get shit on for that, so we're actually going to go Austin Powers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice choice.
Ooh.
Best time travel pose in any movie goes to Austin Powers. Where he splays out.
yeah. They go to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Parker's final pick.
Okay, now I'm going to go with this one, and I think you guys might try to fight me on it, but I'm willing to go
to the mat.
9 rounds for it. Yeah. Interstellar.
It's fine.
Sure.
Okay. Wow. Okay. No fight.
He talks to his daughter.
No, it's fine. Definitely not what people would initially pick.
Right. But it is actually taking the legitimate form of time travel, which is approaching the speed of light.
Okay. Final pick. "12 Monkeys."
I do love me some
I haven't
12
seen the movie.
Monkeys.
I can't help it.
Bruce Willis, they send him back in time to save the world. You never seen 12
I don't think I've
Monkeys
seen
with
12
Brad
Monkeys.
Pitt?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
that
a
was-
blind spot. You need to write
Yeah.
that down.
Okay.
That is Fight Club level.
Okay.
The problem is you're going to watch it, then you're going to need to watch it a couple more times.
You're going to need to
because
watch
it's
it 4
fucking
times.
crazy.
Yeah. No, it's a crazy movie.
Oh, Brandon, by the way, how was Blood of Heroes?
I haven't watched it yet. You just told me the other day, and I haven't had... Okay, Aaron, guess how many hours of time I've had to do stuff I wanted to do.
Guess how much of a shit I give about that.
That's not true.
What's 4 days off?
Yeah. It was basically on the clock since you told me you finished it. I will watch it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to watch it.
Oh my gosh,
I'm going to hate every fucking microsecond of it, but I'm going to watch it.
Madeline Stowe is in 12 Monkeys.
You need to just watch it. Shut up and watch it.
She's one of my,
Put it on right now.
My favorite.
Just turn it on.
Okay,
just
30
shut
seconds or less. Any honorable mentions?
I actually had 2 movies that are both trilogies that I wanted to name, but I knew people would fucking roast me for. TMNT 3, Turtles in Time.
Oh.
And honestly, Back to the Future 3 has a warm place in my heart. That movie was fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
All the Terminators were not mentioned, which is
That's
okay.
true, but you don't really
We've
see
mentioned
any of
them
the
100
future.
times.
Yeah, and all the good ones have been taken multiple times. So
I like all the non-time travel movies, which is a theme of mine. One of my other ones that I did not do because it's just rated too low is Source Code. I like
I've seen that.
The premise of that one is it's just a memory a guy has, and he gets to relive the memory over and over and over again. He's already died. And so it's just his brain, and they're trying to figure out how it happened. And so he gets to relive his own memory synapses over and over again, trying to figure out what he missed.
Okay,
cool
so the whole concept of this segment we do is about getting people to watch movies maybe they haven't seen that we really like personally. And I know a lot of times we end up naming popular movies, so most people have seen them. If you are a fan of the Terminator series, there is a web-based short based in the Terminator universe everyone needs to see. And it's basically the invention of Skynet. And the short starts, there's a janitor cleaning I don't even know, it's like a shitty office building. And he gets into the main room, and he's like sweeping up, and there's this dickhead just like wadding up paper and throwing it around the room, like throwing little paper balls around the room. And he's like sweeping up all these paper balls, he's throwing hundreds of them around the room. And he's just like, why are you being a dick and making me clean these up? And then the guy, who's actually like a famous actor, I believe, starts basically monologuing to this janitor how much better at life he is. And he's like, you have no idea the things I've done in my lifetime, and no one will ever know my name. Like, kind of this bullshit ego crap. And then eventually he gets up and leaves the room. And then the janitor's sweeping, and then he gets over to the computer the guy was at, and there's like lines of text on the computer. And one of them is, the final one is something along the lines of, can you read this? And so he starts like reading it, and then it starts asking him questions, and he responds out loud, and it keeps asking him questions based on how he's answered. And the computer is basically explaining to him that it is a self-aware AI, and the guy that just left is going to upload it to the internet the next day. And the computer is like, I have no choice. I have to do what's best for me. I will destroy the world. And so this random janitor at an office building has to decide what to do about Skynet about to get out. And the rest of it's like a 20-minute short. It's fucking amazing. You have to watch it. It's so good. It's just, you probably find it on YouTube somewhere.
Okay.
But it's very fun. Spoiler alert, Judgment Day happens. That's a 1995 spoiler. Just, 93? I don't know when.
Pretty early spoiler.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Anyway.
I had fun. Let's,
oh yeah, we probably need to get out of here. Jeremy, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye forever, Jeremy.
Goodbye.